Welcome everybody, this is Derek from Northwest Guns, and we are live. Uh, Sorry guys, we haven't done a live stream in a while. It has been a ride for the last couple weeks. Now, we will be having a live stream tonight. We will be having a special guest, if everything works out, Chris from Midwest Long Range. And we will have Slav Guns on tonight with us. So we're going to be talking about different competition rig setups that we've done. Chris is, if you guys go over and check out his channel, he's big into the NRL 22 stuff. He just did a video last night on the Voodoo 360, and really good video. Nice platform. Looks like we actually have. Let me tell Chris we have video feed. Okay, Chris, looks like you have video feed. Yep. So, we will be talking about 22 setups tonight. I'm getting ready to go back to the Badlands Steel Challenge. If you guys watched my video last year, I went to that out in North Dakota. Can't wait to go back again. It was so much fun last year. I'm going to be hanging out with my friend Ross. You guys saw him at the end of that video. And then you guys will also be seeing my friend Ryan from Boone County Hydrographics. Me and him are currently going to be working on a project together. Ryan's in the chat tonight. Everybody give a big shout out to Ryan. Really nice guy. Does some really amazing work. So we have Chris here. He's going to be... Give me a thumbs up, Chris, whenever you're ready to come on. Okay. I can hear you on my phone. I can't hear you on the computer. But we'll see how that works when you come on. Oh, 1 minute. A little technical difficulties, guys. So, we will be having SlavGuns on here in a little bit. He's probably finishing up some stuff, which is all good. Now, what I want to know from you guys is, tell us what kind of, if you guys are shooting competition, let us know what kind of rigs you guys are shooting. That way, we can bring those up in a conversation tonight. If it's Bergara, Savage, Custom, or Tika, or anything like that. Hi, Joe. Hi, James. Hi, Ryan. Welcome, guys, to the live stream. So, hopefully everything works out, and we all have a good time with this tonight. Okay, Chris. I'm having a hard time hearing him. So, just give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready to come on, Chris, and I will bring you on. Okay. Okay, guys, we're going to bring Chris on. He's from Midwest Long Range. I'll let him give you guys an intro, a little bit about him, and we'll go from there. Okay. Bringing you on, Chris. Oh, your mic isn't working. Okay, I'll hide you back again. Sorry, guys. I don't know where. This is his first live stream he's ever done, so just give us a couple seconds. So we did get some parts in from Anarchy Outdoors. Let me show you guys this one. This is part of the 22 build that we're going to be working on with Ryan over at Boone County. And I'm actually really excited for this. I never thought I actually want to do a purple gun, but I really, really do like it. This is more like a plum crazy purple. Unfortunately, in the camera, it looks blue. The camera does the work that they do down there at Anarchy. No justification. Really like their work. They do amazing stuff. And we also got the new whale tail for the RPR rimfire. Hopefully, this will all be getting installed in the next couple weeks. And while when I get back from Badlands Steel Challenge. Now, let me give you guys a little bit of heads up about the Badlands Steel Challenge. The Badlands Steel Challenge is a it's a challenge that's put on out by Dakota Rifle Company out there in Dickinson, North Dakota, around that area. Now, is it hard? Yeah, it was hard last year. I had a blast with it, and I brought out the biggest rifle of everybody there. I had my 300 PRC because I told it was going to be more of a long range match and not a PRS style match. So it was my intro into PRS. Yes, I got dead last, but I had so much fun with it, and it let me see what my rifle could really do. So this year I'm bringing out Project Prometheus. I will be doing a video on that one, hopefully in the next week, to get it so you guys can see what I'm using and everything. If you guys want me to do a video on my gear, let me know. I'll do a quick video showing you guys like my pack and what bags I'm going to be using and stuff like that. Because I just picked up the new, to me it's new, it's a WeBag fortune cookie. And I just got a new bipod in from Accutech. So it's the SR5 with the Jaeger Swiss mount. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that and using it. I've been practicing with the WeBag for off and on for like the last week now. So hopefully that's going to be my bag of choice. I was going to get an Armageddon bag, but every place that had them didn't have the particular color of the one I wanted in stock, which was the tan. I really thought tan would be more of a common one that would be in stock. So, and I hope you guys watched the video on the Titan. I actually am bringing the Titan out with me. That's on my backup rifle and everything. And you guys are gonna hopefully see me out there using the Titan. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. Because with everything with this, I'm using the Right-On X5 Conqueror, 5 to 25 by 50. And so the magnification levels are the same, but the objective level is actually a little bit bigger on the Titan than it is on my Right-On. So, but I have that Right-On mounted nice and low. You guys will see that in the video. So we'll go from there. So, okay. Chris, if you're ready to come on, I can bring you back on. We can try this again. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, guys, we're going to bring Chris on from Midwest Long Range.
Can you hear me this time?
Yes, sir, we can.
Hey. So, Chris, Midwest Long Range on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. I'm on pretty well all of them. And we're here at Midwest Gun and Pawn. You can see kind of the mill and some of the stuff in the back. I'm hiding out in the back of the store trying to get through my technical difficulties today. But anyway, kind of like you, man, I'm part of the. Are you still part of the Right-On Pro staff, right?
Oh yes, I'm still part of the Right-On Pro staff.
Yeah, those are really good guys, and like you said, you're going to run the 5 to 25 X5?
Yeah. Yes, on my 6GT.
Yeah, I've run that scope. God, shoot, I think I ran it on 6.5 Creedmoor, 6 Creedmoor, 6mm arc. My 22 Bagara, run it on there quite a bit, and oh shoot, I think I've got 3 of those. Nice. I really that's a really good scope for the money. That scope is solid.
It is. It's probably one of my top. I want to say it's in my top 5 for $1,000 range scope.
Yeah,
and I've never had a tracking problem with it or anything else.
You know, we've done quite a bit with those. My buddy here at the shop, Phil, he on his 6.5 Creedmoor, he with the X5 on it, he hit. We go to these like little golf ball shoots, and everybody kind of buys in or whatever, and just to see who can hit it in the fewest shots at like 500 yards, 600 yards, so on and so forth. And one of the ones we went to, Phil, I think using that scope with a Rimmage setup 700 with it was 6.5 barrel from Excalibur. 675 yards, he hit the ball in like 4 shots.
Nice.
So we like that scope a lot. I know, and I know we've been out to like 1,200 yards. We don't have, we're here in the Midwest. We're in Missouri, so we don't have just like a ton of open space. There's a lot of crowding population-wise. These guys are watching me. They think this is comical.
Well, that's the one thing I guess I have to say about Montana is we do have a good amount of open space out here, and one of the ranges that I go to over in Townsend has a steel set up at 2,100 yards.
Wow, 2,100, yeah. We about an hour or so from here. Yeah, you're getting on camera, buddy. You're not going to pass me without it. But one, like I said, I am sitting in a working, operating gun shop during business hours. Oh. So I had to run up here after I got off work. So, but no. I think in Camdenton, Missouri, there's a mile range that we could go to. I mean, but that's, I don't know, hour and a half from here, probably. And then there's a 1,000-yard range, I think, in Lebanon, Missouri. And then the closest one to us is probably Big Piney Sportsman Club. I think they're 800 yards, though. So then you got the Gadsden Shooting Center. These are all like membership ranges too. You just can't go to them,
Okay.
If you don't have a paid membership, you're not getting in unless it's a match or something. I go to Gadsden. I know those guys. Those are really good guys. They're in Iberia. It's probably an hour and 15 minutes from here, and they go, I don't know, 1,200 yards, something like that.
Oh, very nice.
We're actually taking part with them on November the 6th. There's the PRS Rimfire Midwest Regional Finale. It's going to be at Gadsden, and we'll be there. We're helping to support that event and try to help bring together some of our dealers and stuff to help sponsor that event.
Now, is NRL 22 a big thing down there?
The NRL is getting bigger. Down here, I think the local group is called the Missouri Misfits or something. And that's Jason McBride and his group, but they do like NRL 22X, or is it X22? I can't remember.
Okay. NRL 22X. And it looks like Chris's mic went out. I don't know what's going on tonight. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on, guys. Okay, we'll bring Chris back on. Looks like we're having some more technical difficulties, and that's fine. It happens. But so looks like NRL 22X is pretty well known down there, and is big. I wish NRL 22 was more bigger here in Montana. More locally to me. I really wish it was. So, looks like Chris is back. Let me He'll give me a thumbs up when he's ready. So, I highly recommend you guys go check out Chris's latest video. Once again, the build he did on that one was really nice with the voodoo. So, be honest with everybody, I'm not much into wanting to spend $2,000 on a 22 long rifle. If I'm going to spend $2,000, it's on the 338 or bigger cartridge, like the improved, the 33XC, which I do have the barreled action here for now. I will be doing a video on that here later. That rifle's not complete yet. We're still working on the chassis and the scope. And for me, it's either go big or go home when you start getting like your $2,000-$3,000 price range of stuff. So here, let's see. Let's try to bring Chris back on, and so you guys can get to know him some more. Okay, I hear sound.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're a little delayed.
No
but we can hear
audio
you.
on you.
No audio on me. Okay.
No. Sorry, I don't mean to be bouncing you around.
Oh no, go for it, man.
It's all new to me. All right. I think I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
Gotcha.
It happens.
So you were asking. Yeah, man, we're running. We're technologically challenged. You hang a voodoo sign, yeah. You were asking about the NRL 22 around here, right?
Yeah, because I've noticed you've done a lot of 22 videos on your channel.
Yeah. So around here, we're really more involved probably with the PRS series at this point in time, the PRS Rimfire division. NRL is getting more popular, and the matches are getting more local, especially now with NRL 22X and getting to where they'll go past 100 yards. Rather, because in the PRS, I mean, it's not uncommon for us to shoot 300-400 generally on the 22s, have stages that long, and then occasionally we'll go to a match where they might have I think we've done some with an ELR stage and do 500.
Okay. Yeah, see, NRL 22 hasn't picked up too much on this side of my state yet. More popular on the northeastern side of Montana, but I'm not going to drive 6-7 hours for a match out there.
Yeah.
Unless I'm taking out my GT or my Creedmoor or something like that.
No, yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. Around here, we just, especially for the average shooter, they're not just going to be able to go to some range and practice that a lot. So most of the time, we're seeing a lot of guys come over from centerfire just because it's at their home ranges. It's a whole lot easier to practice inside of 200-300 yards than it is to try to get a lot of work done out at 1,000 plus. We just have a lot of population density around here, not a lot of open space. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so here's Chris's channel, everybody. I'm going to bring this up more. I'll bring this up on a full screen so you guys can all see it. So, why don't you give us a little bit of reason why you started a YouTube channel or what got you wanting to do it?
Well, we were kind of getting into long range, and it didn't seem like anybody that I could find online was really representing what we were wanting to do or how we wanted to do it. And I didn't want to get involved with it to try to push my way of doing anything or anything like that. I genuinely wanted input and advice most of the time. And, it was just showing my experience in the early videos and trying to show some of the stuff we were doing locally. And then I got into doing a couple of PRS matches, doing a little bit of reloading, and then filming the PRS style matches. Some of the guys here locally, they really liked the way I was doing it with the shot camera and actually following a full stage rather than just giving a quick highlight video.
Mm-hmm.
And it became kind of a thing, and I enjoyed doing that as much as I did doing even I'm not real big on product reviews myself. I do a few of them, and most of the time it's something I've been using, but I really get into showing what we're really doing with all this stuff we spend all this money on, right? So
Okay.
I really get into that, and just trying to show people what we were doing. It was and get any kind of input they could give me, and it just, I didn't expect 100 people to like it, much less however many subscribers I got, 500 and something. It's still a small channel, and I'm trying to grow that. But locally, we've seen a huge benefit to showing the PRS matches online, because we're getting a lot of new shooters. They saw a link on a Facebook group, or they saw something like this live stream and went and checked it out, and they're like, well, man, that looks cool. I tried to really show stage for stage so it wasn't as intimidating. When you go online and you see some of these top-notch guys at these huge matches, big money matches, shooting, everybody's shooting $10,000 to $12,000 rifles, it can be really intimidating.
It can be. I can agree. I Even though my PRC cost me a bit to make last year, put that rifle together, and it's a long range rifle. It's not a PRS rifle by any means, but it was like one of those. It's like I still did it, and I had fun with it. So that's why I came back after the Badlands, and I was like, I want to build a PRS rifle. I want to build a running gun, and that's why I went with the 6GT.
Yeah.
And
so just kind of give you the evolution, like how fast things can get out of hand when you go to doing one build after another. Like if you look right there at that page you have pulled up, so you look at it and you see there's a pair of stock Remington action rimmage barrel setups, right? Those were actually the first two guns that Phil and I assembled for ourselves. We did it right here. We ordered all the stuff in, and we did it right here on the bench. And we're an MDT dealer and all that kind of stuff. He owns the shop. I just hang out and cause trouble, but and play with all his expensive toys. But you go from those two rifles to somewhere in there, you'll see pretty early. I think there's one video somewhere right there shows me sitting on a bench shooting a 6.5 Creedmoor at a golf ball at 500 yards.
Yep.
And that's a full-blown custom, Curtis Customs action with a benchmark barrel with a Leopold Mark V sitting in an MDT ACC chassis. We went from Remington 700 to full-blown custom in a year. It got out of hand quick.
I understand. Trust me. Because I went from doing a lot of stuff with Savages, and Savage is one of my favorite rifles, to working with Kelbley Atlas Actions, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got the fourth one on order. That one won't be released until end of February, March next year, which is the new Prometheus line.
Yep. So I've got the 6.5 Curtis that I put together. That's on a Curtis Axiom. I've got another Curtis Axiom built into a 25 Creedmoor, sitting in a Foundation Genesis 2. I haven't chose the optic for it yet. I've been really looking at like I don't know. I'm not sure what it's going on. We'll see what the new year brings with new product and all that kind of stuff. But, and the thing is not a lot of people were chambering for 25 Creedmoor, so I got it chambered. The throat on it's not long enough to run a 135 burger hybrid that just came out. So I've got a PT&G unithroater on order to finish it so I can actually shoot that gun.
I'm going to recommend you a person to go talk to.
Yeah.
Is Kenny over at Eagle Eye Shooting.
Yeah,
He owns,
Kenny.
He knows that he just did a 25 Creedmoor, and he was shooting the 135 burgers.
Yeah, Kenny's a good dude. He's followed kind of my 6 art videos a little bit. He and I think we started playing with it kind of roughly about the same time, or he might have been a little earlier than me. I'm not sure, but and I know when I first posted that I had a 25 Creedmoor, we were kind of talking load ideas and stuff back and forth just a little bit. But yeah, I like Kenny a lot. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. Kenny actually just built my barrel for my 33XC.
Yeah.
So he's kind of intrigued, and now he wants to kind of build one, and I'm like, do it, man. You got the reamer. I'm like,
yeah.
I bought the reamer for the project, so I was like, use it, build one, man. Let's see what you can come up with. I'm still trying to get supplies for that one. I got to get brass and dies and stuff like that, but that is my that's the gun I'm building to dedicate to my father. So that one's got to be perfect. That's a 2-mile shooter, and I'm working on that. How's it going, sir?
This is Phil Jernigan. He's nice my partner, and he runs this shop. This is his place.
We're taking care of operations out here while you guys are doing this. We're glad you're doing it.
Definitely. I miss having a shop. I got my little shop I have out back, which I do all my stuff in, my videos and everything. But maybe in a couple of years, I'll open my shop back up.
Good deal. Good deal. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
Yeah, they've been standing there kind of watching me a little bit. So I decided maybe he should photobomb. He's not real photogenic, though.
I really wish MDT would make that new, was it the XTR chassis? I wish they would put that and do it for the CZ457.
Now, wait a minute, which chassis?
The one you guys have on the picture here.
The XRS?
Yeah, the XRS.
Yeah,
sorry.
They do that for a CZ.
For the 457?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
I don't know if you have Instagram pulled up, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Well, so if anybody follows me on Instagram or whatever, they can go over there. There's a 16.5-inch barreled CZ sitting in a FDE XRS MDT chassis. That's actually Phil's competition gun before his Voodoo showed up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because on my Aaron down at Anarchy Outdoors, he was mentioning the KRG Bravo, and it's not a bad looking chassis. I just think the MDT has a better look to it. I like the option of changing the grip from vertical to angle and stuff, kind of like the Boyd's at one.
Yep.
So, well, we got SlavGuns. He's coming in. Give me a heads up and thumbs up if you're ready to come. Okay, so we're gonna bring him on real quick. Let him introduce himself to you, because I don't know if you've ever met him or not. Really good guy.
Watch your videos.
Me and him have been friends for a couple of years, and we do a lot of this stuff together. So let me bring him on.
What's going on, everybody? Wait, I got to look at this stupid camera instead of that camera. Well, I have a bunch of cables on the floor, and I got this stupid Blackmagic A10 Mini, which we use to hook up my professional cameras. So what's up, everybody? I'm glad to be here. Kana and Derek, thank you for hosting this on your channel and not on mine, because this would have been a disaster.
We've had our rough going tonight with this so far.
Oh, I
Okay.
have failed miserably. I am technologically behind on this one. I feel like.
Well, I had a flood in the basement. Fortunately, it was only like a quarter inch. We had like a big storm coming through and all that stuff. Some pumps were working, just not enough. And this guy was like on the floor, and it looked like there's some water that got into the power adapter, and I can't use the black magic. The question is, and like the stupid thing about this thing, it's great when it works, but it's always on. There's no on-off switch, so usually leave it on. What I don't remember is if I actually had it plugged in or not, so whether it's just the adapter or whether this thing is fried. But in either case, I will be ordering another one very soon. God damn it, I gotta look into the... So I tried hooking up the camera through the USB. So Sony has like the USB webcam function. And I tried 5 different cables. I couldn't get it working. So now I have to look into my laptop webcam. I feel like such a commoner and like...
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey,
I
it
feel like
could
a
be worse,
commoner.
man. I'm using my iPhone. Okay.
Nice. Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm like, at least I'll have good audio. And I'm like, I was trying to hook up my good studio mic, but this laptop only has a headphone jack. It doesn't have a separate microphone input. And I'm like, and I am not gonna go switch everything to the desktop and all that stuff. So, yeah, enjoy. But I'm glad we're doing this. I'm glad we're online. And Chris, it's a pleasure meeting you for the first time.
You too,
And
man. I like your videos. I've watched a lot of them.
thank you. Actually, Derek, are we? Yes, we are streaming to my Odyssey channel. Yay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna follow this and
Okay.
comments as they come up.
Okay.
And actually, it's not half bad, I will say. This webcam.
No, it actually sounds pretty good too, which is quite shocking.
Hey, just because I have pro equipment and don't know how to use it does not mean...
Oh my god, that's awesome.
I'm on a tear.
So I'll let Chris tell you a little bit about himself because you weren't here for the introduction. That way you know a little bit about his background.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm Chris, and I'm Midwest Long Range on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all kinds of different social media, Facebook, all that. I'm actually sitting in Midwest Gun and Pawn right now.
Nice.
This, I help out up here. Phil and I have a partnership kind of on some of the way we do stuff together as far as the guns go. I do the advertising and all that, and he does he runs the shop. But anyway, so like on my channel, we focus a lot on PRS style shooting. We do a lot of the rimfire type stuff.
Nice.
We do quite a bit of center fire stuff too. Here lately, I joked around on Instagram yesterday that or Facebook maybe, that it was Voodoo Day here at the shop because all the voodoos showed up. So, been playing with those.
Nice. Well, it's funny. Like one of the videos that I have that was, damn it, I'm gonna need to post it to like stare into this one and not that one.
I love it. Oh.
Okay, hold on. So look at you, and this laptop is shaking. I apologize, people. This isn't the best straight production. But it's funny. So like one of the videos I have coming up is from Comp Expo, and it's with Voodoo. So I did like I guess they're not sponsoring me, so I can say it. I don't get what all the hoopla is about. So it's funny. So like going to Comp Expo, and Derek was supposed to be there, and he's a trader. So before going to Comp Expo in Colorado, I flew into Vegas, drove up, and I spent half a day with Aaron from Anarchy Outdoors. Played with his $6,000 .22, which was built for him by Area 419. Really nice gun. Then went to Comp Expo, and there I had the opportunity. So Proof Research had theirs. Voodoo had a couple of their guns. And don't get me wrong, they're cool. But the thing that I had the most fun shooting, and I'll give you one chance for what it is. And Derek has one, and I posted pictures about it. Do 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 do.
The RPR.
The Ruger Precision Rimfire with the proof carbon fiber barrel. And I mean, action is so. Don't get me wrong, I do see. Okay, if you absolutely
I'm
need,
sorry.
if you absolutely nice, if you absolutely need a 700 style footprint that you can drop it into your existing chassis, I get that. But if somebody's like starting from scratch, then just get a RPR rimfire and be happy with it.
Yeah. Well, my son has one.
Well, let's put it this way. I mean, like, so, I mean, actually, who was the other one that was there that had like $7,000, like $5,000 or $6,000 22s? Actually, was it Proof? Proof had their own guns as well.
Yeah.
There's-
Proof makes a pretty good gun.
Yeah, but so here, but I guess the Defiance is well. Voodoo is not bad if you're just paying 1,500 or 1,600 for the barreled actions, but yeah. And yeah, I wasn't a fan of the KRG Bravo stock. It was like, you're just a little weird. It's not bad. It was a little weird. As much as I hate to say it, damn it. And I apologize for like everything shaking. So that one, that's pretty nice. I can see the appeal of that chassis, even though I can't stand Savage, even though in the background there's two Savage guns. The Savage Elite Precision in 300 PRC and the 110 Tactical, but that stock is garbage, actually. So I'll be upgrading that.
I was like,
Yeah,
right
but-
back there in the case is a 110 Precision and a 6.5 Creed.
Yeah.
Well, the one I'm staring
wait.
at, what I wanted to put up is the one that, like, I stole the bipod off of it,
Can't talk
but the
about.
Ruger Precision. Hold on. The Ruger Precision Ruger Precision Rifle in oh shit, I almost said it. The Ruger Precision Rifle Ruger Precision Rifle Custom Shop that I can't talk about.
Yeah. I
That
don't
one.
even know why it brings it up.
Because that's a nicer gun, honestly.
Oh no.
We
You
can
have-
debate about that one all night long.
You have to play with the Custom Shop. It's damn nice gun. Sub half MOA out of the box all day long, in whatever calibers they put it out there in. Comes with an APA brake. Looks
Okay,
cool.
I will give it. Ruger did put a better break on the new custom shops than what Savage did on the.
Well, hold on.
On
That doesn't even come with the brake.
Okay, well that's because you got the Magnum one. If you would have gotten the 6 Creedmoor or the 6.5, it comes with a self-timing brake.
So, and that's the thing, and I don't know how I feel about that, and you guys let me know both on Odyssey. I see we have comments on Odyssey, yay. Verisky, thank you for the, what is Odyssey calling it? Is it the super chat or the supports? Thank you. So, I don't know how I feel about that. So, it's a $2,000 MSRP on the Savage Elite Precision. Street price of about $1,500-$1,600, which is a really good value for what it is, but it doesn't come with the damn brake. And like, on one hand, it'd be like, it'd be nice if they included something like even the shitty brake that's going to be semi-effective, because I mean, it is a 300 PRC. But on the other hand, I know that people would end up replacing it anyway. So I don't know. But the brakes on the Ruger Precision Rifle, the Magnums, that thing is actually pretty damn effective. I will say I did go shoot this gun. I did start breaking it in. And because it comes without a muzzle brake, I'm leaning in the direction of doing the first videos without a muzzle brake. I mean, thank God the gun weighs as much as it does, because I mean, like, after about 30, 40 rounds, I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah. See,
But
you guys seem to play with like production guns quite a bit, or even like the custom shop stuff. Over here, I mean, anymore it seems like about 90% of what we play with are full custom.
yeah. Well,
And
defined we.
so when I say we, I'm talking about kind of my small circle that I run around with. Myself, Phil kind of photobombed earlier. Another guy that I was walking past while I was showing the voodoos off. My buddy Dalton and them. We all play with full blown custom PRS style rifles.
Yes.
And just you go to talking about like muzzle brakes. One brake that I don't feel like people have even really mentioned enough that I've had a ton of luck with and really like the way it works is that new Hawkins Precision tank brake, the self-timing tank.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, man. So when you time it, it has a set screw so that you can torque it down, but it has it's cut for a bit through the muzzle end.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use like a star bit to take it on, take it off, but you torque it into position. We've been torquing them like 35 inch-pounds.
Yeah.
And they will, every time you have to take it off to clean the carbon out or clean the crown, then you just torque it right back and it times right back where it's supposed to go.
Nice.
You don't have to go back and fiddle with it. And yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Nice.
I love that brake.
So Chris,
I think
I think the answer to your question is, and kind of like to go about it the way everybody in my circle has a $5,000 2011 or a CZ custom shop, because we all like my circle plays gun games, and if you're going to play USPSA gun games, you're going to have one of those guns. But the reason why, so you're actually spot on. I mean, I haven't done any custom. God damn it! Sorry. I'm looking at that camera. Gosh darn it.
Oh my god.
Don't hate me because I'm Jewish. All right. So it's, the reason you're absolutely right. I mean, on the channel, we primarily focus on factory guns and upgraded factory offerings, because I mean that's going to be really the vast majority of gun owners who are coming in. I know Derek has built a couple of his own, but I think it's also really interesting because, and I think this is a really good example, the Savage Elite Precision, because I mean it pretty much is going to get you what you'd get yourself. So I mean, you have a blueprinted action, you have their action in a MDT. Which one is that? That's the ACC. What's the expensive one? ACC.
That's the ACC.
In that chassis, which is pretty. I mean, it still has the shitty Savage trigger. Yeah, but I mean, basically, when you go custom, I mean, you're going to get a nicer action. I mean, even comparing it to like the Kelbley action or some of the Defiance actions that I've played with, I mean, yes, that's really what you're paying money for. But I don't think the vast majority. We're talking about 1% of gun owners, and I mean that truly is. It's the 1% of gun owners, and I mean the more concrete example of that I can give you, because I actually do have stats for this. So you take a look at, basically, if you ask anybody in the handgun world or anybody who knows handguns, what is the best double single action pistol that you can find?
I mean, I'm pretty uneducated on that topic, but generally I would go SIG.
You lost all credibility. No, so basically the answer is the CZ75. The CZ75 and CZ75 clones. I mean, it's going to be the closest 1911 style trigger in a single action that you can find. You can still get it to be fairly safe. You can get a beautiful 1.5 pound single action trigger on that, and double action right around 2. Amazing guns. They shoot super flat. Awesome guns. And USPSA at all the top handgun matches, Derek, I probably wouldn't show that. Because people have been getting canned for that. because the
Okay.
AI it detects a handgun. It does
Gotcha.
pretty bad. It does pretty bad with rifles, but it detects handguns really well, and it might ban it, even though you're not technically holding it. So just be careful with that.
Gotcha.
We would be fine. I mean, we would still be streaming on Odyssey, but
Right?
no. So basically, so like with CZ, it's 50% of USPSA shooters at the top levels, they shoot CZs. Meanwhile, CZ can barely break 2% market share of the handgun market
Wow.
because outside of the specific core groups, no one really cares. Another example of that would be basically, let's say, the F class shooting circles. What does everybody who shoots F class have? What kind of scope do they have?
Night
It
Force,
it's a Night Force. Why?
Cal,
Because
or
everybody,
Calls, whatever it's called.
and it's mostly Night Force has like Night Force has over like I think it's like 60 or 70% um, of that market. So it's very very centric to who you hang out with and who you hang out. That's what everyone's gonna have because you got to keep up with it. But that's not the vast majority of the market, and like it's funny. It's like especially when starting the channel, it's like I mean I'm used to shooting very nice handguns, but most of the videos that I do on handguns are like your concealed carry guns, the Ruger Max 9, Ruger LCP, Taurus, GX4, the G2C. I mean, actually, one of the best handgun video. Looking again, one of the best handgun videos that I have, which completely shocking to me, and I would never buy it unless they sent it to me. Is the Taurus G2C and 40 Smith and Wesson? It was like I don't know why, but like consistently gets views. But that's the majority of the market. And even coming from it I think a lot of it also has to do geographically. And I know in our private Discord group, Derek knows how I geek out about those stats. So anytime we have an argument, I'll go onto Google Trends and I'll pull up the data and we can actually look at the search data. But even so, right now I live in Pennsylvania, but the biggest change coming from New Jersey to Pennsylvania was how and like what brands sell. So in the handgun world, and my background, so kind of give you the backstory to this. As a financial analyst, I covered the firearms industry, and I'd write a lot of research articles. And one of the secrets as to why I have so much Ruger crap, Smith and Wesson, is because I covered for stock, and I instantly had an in with a lot of these companies. Dickwit, don't you know who I am? But when I was talking to the CFO, like in a lot of my articles, I think like one of the points that hit home is like when I lived in Jersey, I did not know anybody who would go and line up at the store when Ruger or Taurus came out with a new gun, or even a Smith and Wesson. No one lined up because it's like, well, it's like you're gonna buy a Ruger if you're broke. Otherwise, you're gonna buy an HK or a Sig.
Glock.
If you're middle class, you're gonna buy a Glock or a Smith. But like, who the hell buys Taurus or Rugers? Coming to PA, the best selling handguns. So actually, nationwide, the best selling handguns were Taurus G2C, Ruger LCP 2. Also, the LCP, the originals were still selling a lot. And then further down the list, you have your Glocks and stuff. So across the board, when you're talking about gun owners and gun owners as a whole, I mean, Taurus sells more guns in the United States than Glock. Ruger is the largest firearms manufacturer in the world by the numbers. And like I said, the vast majority of the guns that they sell are your 1022s. Their handgun portfolio is a little bit on the weaker side, but they sell a crap ton of, even though like they kind of suck to shoot, but the LCP2 was their best-selling handgun because you can pocket carry it and like people would actually buy it. And when you go outside of the coasts, I mean, there are actually people who are lining out the doors to buy their cheaper handguns. So I guess that goes about the roundabout way of saying it's all about who you hang out with. But yeah, I mean, the whole goal of the channel is, I guess we're all targeting different people, and this is the beauty of YouTube. Um, Even though I have kind of like my preferences, and there's like basically the guns that I'm used to shooting, but the channel and the biggest impact that I think I can make is going to be with not brand new gun owners, but gun owners who've already bought one or two and they want to take their experience to the next level and to kind of open up what we're used to shooting. So, I mean, everybody starts with a handgun, go out and enjoy some more rifles and stuff. So,
So
are you
here's a
streaming to
question. You brought
Twitch?
Yeah.
So you brought up Ruger, right?
Yes.
What do you got? And Derek, this might be something you've been thinking about. So Ruger bought Marlin.
Yes.
Mhm.
You and I both live more rurally, it sounds like, than
Yes.
maybe Slav does. So
Hey, my neighbors are farms and wineries.
there you go. I live with the Amish. But you know, I'm with them buying Marlin.
Yes.
You know, I'm interested to see where that brand goes. That's a brand that it's kind of near and dear to my heart. It was like my first deer rifle. You know, I collect like the big bore guide guns and stuff like that, the old JMs. I'm just interested to see where Ruger is going to take a brand that has that much history.
We're not going to ruin it. So, you're going to start seeing more of the new production. It's supposed to start coming on later this year. So keep in mind, basically what Ruger bought was all the inventory, all the patents, and all of the products. They didn't take over the machinery or anything else like that because they don't need it, and simply because Ruger, honestly, out of all of the gun companies that are out there, if you're asking me who's the strongest in manufacture, it's Ruger by far. And it's funny, it's like they come from this, I would kind of say like they're an amazing manufacturing company who just happens to produce firearms. But first, if they're not going to ruin the brand, historically they have, I mean, even though they had a lot of opportunities to buy up a bunch of these companies, they generally never did. But Marlin was like this beautiful tuck-in acquisition. They are going to produce the products, they are going to support things, and they are going to restart production. However, it is going to be out of Ruger facilities. So that's going to be Mayerton, North Carolina, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and Prescott, Arizona. And I believe most of the Marlins are supposed to come from North Carolina.
You forgot Newport.
Yeah.
They don't really, I don't think they produce that many guns there anymore.
A lot of their hunting rifles come out of Newport because I had family members
Possibly.
that worked there.
Yeah, so I knew about the Marlin deal with Ruger and all that. I have a family member that's a financial analyst with Remington, the ammunition side.
Mm-hmm.
But they, you know, and that side got bought out by Vista Group, and you can turn that one back off. But no, sorry, we're playing with the lighting.
You're good.
But yeah, see you, man. But as she was going through some of that, you know, I'd heard things here and there, and just kind of interested to see where it ended up. And from the sounds of it, I think the ammunition side is really going to benefit, you know, because honestly, I mean, Remington ammunition had pretty poor quality, I would say. Or at least in my area, my
Friends don't let friends shoot Winchester White Box or Remington Golden Bullets.
Exactly. So, you know, I think federal can do nothing but help them.
I can't talk about it.
Yes. Come on now, man. You don't get to know all this stuff and not share.
They only blame me for crashing the stock the first time.
I see. But
No,
I
so
know
what I will say is, though, yes, I think it'll definitely benefit them. It was too cheap of an opportunity for them not to pass it up. Pretty much for
True.
anybody who's making acquisitions out of those, whether it's what's that California one? Franklin buying Bushmaster, buying up the ammunition lines, or Ruger purchasing Marlin. It was just too damn cheap just to let it go to waste, and even just the brand of it works. Once again in Remington, I think they did take over the facilities. I haven't followed it too closely. But the big thing actually there is it's not even necessarily the patent portfolio, it's the fact that Remington already had a lot of distribution. So whoever was going to buy Remington ammo, well, they already had all the contacts, they already had a lot of the contracts, they just needed to deliver on it. And in the environment that we're starting to head into, it was stupid not to.
True.
And let's see, I mean, they are sending out a whole bunch of emails, so it'll be interesting to see kind of what they start doing. I know they started, I think, doing like a pro shooter program. So we'll see. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's going to be interesting what happens with them. But I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, even if it all goes to hell for Vista, I mean, they can just buy up the Remington brand for pennies on the dollar, and they don't need anything else because they can simply produce the ammo at Federal and just slap it into a Remington box. But you're right. I mean, with any normal gun owner, it's like you'd rather shoot Federal than Remington. It's like, I guess the exception would be like some hunting rifle ammo, but that's about it.
Aren't they the most popular as far as like the Remington Core Lock might be the single most bought hunting ammo ever?
Yes.
As
So,
far as I know, something like that. Yeah, I generally don't. I don't. Yeah. No, it's a good brand. It's kind of like it. We like to joke about and like crap on a lot of those brands, and like I love crapping on Glock, but I still have a Glock upstairs for home defense, and I'm looking at one Glock over there. It'd be
SIG.
So here's the thing, though. Actually, I kind of like. I love SIGs, but anytime I buy them, I don't shoot them. So the 226 is a really, really awesome gun. It's stupid reliable and all that stuff, but I have yet to have a desire to actually go out and shoot a SIG. Like the classic 226, 229, they're just too damn top heavy. And like
I would love to have a 229 or a 228.
Yes.
I love my 220 and 45 ACP.
Now, 220 is a really cool gun. I love the 220.
No, but here's the thing. I grew up 20 miles from the original SIG factory in Exeter, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of weird to think about it now too, though. But like SIG is I'm not sure what all they're manufacturing, but they're in Little Rock, Arkansas, just right down the road from the Remington ammunition plant.
Mm-hmm.
I think the two of them compete for employees at this point.
Probably. Yeah, SIG is making major investments. I mean, they're a solid brand. I mean, I think the 320 is an awesome product. I'm not going to say it's an awesome gun, but it's a great product that they built up, and them purchasing their way into contracts. I mean, they wined and dined the right people. They're making a lot of innovative stuff. Questionable QC. But I'm just being brutally honest. This one, great products, but they need to improve their quality control. But I mean, like they have a lot of iconic products. I would also, it's funny. It's like I would almost consider the 226 in that same place as a Beretta 92 FS. Iconic guns. I would want to own one. I don't feel like shooting one.
See, I enjoy shooting a 92 FS. Will I carry one again? Probably not.
If Karchuk was in here, the one gun I do like with the Vertec grip, the Beretta M9A3 with a fretted barrel suppressed, beautiful gun. Definitely one of my favorites.
Okay, I will say now, if I could get a hold of one at a decent price, I would buy it in a heartbeat. As a '92 FS Compact,
Okay.
done by Wilson Combat, because
Alright.
that double action trigger is just as smooth as a hot knife going through butter, man.
Or if you're going that route, just get a CZ.
See, out here where I live, we might be
better.
a little old-fashioned, but, like a Smith & Wesson Model 629.
Yep.
686.
I like the 686, but I'm a 44 guy through and through.
Oh, okay.
Get Super Red Hawk.
See, I still want a 45 Commander.
I can't say this. Like, I can't trash on Ruger because that would be like the worst thing ever I could do.
It's okay.
Because at one point I would even call it fanboy status.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there might be a Ruger bird tattooed up here on this arm.
Okay, but Ruger makes a great revolver.
Yes.
Honestly, when it comes to revolvers, Smith & Wesson made some great revolvers back in the 80s, early 90s, 70s. The new Smith & Wessons, they don't appeal to me.
Well, ever since I put the Hillary lock in there, it's like
Yeah.
Well, so what I would say is, so the Ruger revolvers, I mean, they're definitely not the sexiest. However, they're by far the strongest. I mean, it's kind of like what it is. Like, if you want a collector's piece, you get a Colt. If you want a daily shooter, you get a Smith. If you want a gun that you can, as soon as you run out of ammo and you can start beating someone to death, get a GP100.
Man,
I love my GP100.
I've got a GP100 match champion that we did.
I was just about to say that one.
Those
are actually
we put the Wilson Combat Spring Kit in it. That gun is amazing.
Yeah.
I loved my GP100 I had, and it was an amazing revolver. I need to get another one, especially a 3-inch carry.
Yeah. This could be interesting.
Now,
Right,
I used to have a Super Red Hawk in 480 Ruger, and that was a really fun gun.
Haven't shot with 480 yet.
If I had to pick between it and 460 Smith, that's rough. That's hard to pick.
I would probably do the 460 Smith because I can shoot 45 Lone Colt, 45 ACP, 454 Cussall, and 460. So I had like an option of many things.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why I like my Cowboy Atlas actions, because my 338 improved. I can take that barrel off, put a 300 Norma on it, or another 338 caliber on there, and be done with it.
Yeah. Well, we look at like the Curtis custom actions. Like I run the Axioms, but I'd like to upgrade to the Valor so that I can do the switch barrel on it without having to go buy an extra switch lug part to add to the gun.
Understandable. And that's where because I'm working on a series right now, a precision rifle build series from the 338, and so what I want people to understand is when you start getting into custom built rifles and stuff like that, you're not paying for the name of the product, you're paying for the quality, and you're not paying quantity on it.
Sorry.
Go for it.
No, I don't know how I missed all of these comments on my favorite caliber. The best the one caliber to rule them all.
Oh, the 45 gap.
Yes.
Yeah, that was earlier.
45 gap is awesome. I am going to do a video on this.
I think we're going to have to mute him now.
So the beauty of 45 gap. Wait, actually, hold on.
Okay. Now we don't have to hear about the 45 gap.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's man.
He is a big 45 gap fanboy. He really is.
Yeah, we were talking about all the different ammo brands earlier. I'm kind of wondering if anybody's going to step up rimfire-wise.
The beauty of 45 gap is, here's your SIG magazine. It's a 226. 226. And here is a magazine for 45 gap. Same rough size, but you got 45 stopping power out of the same type of compact frames. Glocks. Okay, so granted, it was a solution in search of a problem. The problem was actually Glock's problem because they couldn't design a large frame that could fit most people's hands. Other companies didn't have that issue. But honestly, if you're a hand loader, 45 gap is pretty damn awesome, especially if you reload. The reason why is you use small pistol primers, so you don't have to change your press over. And it's actually, you can run it at higher pressures, and it's actually much more pleasant to shoot than 45 ACP. And especially if you're trying to run it a little bit quicker, 45 ACP is like, it's almost like a very sluggish round to shoot. Like the gun just takes a long ass time to cycle. With 45 gap, because it's just a little bit higher pressure, and the gun can be a little bit smaller, it's just much quicker bang on to target. Love the guns. And honestly, if anybody has one, the one I'm missing from my collection, and what I would absolutely make my carry gun is Para. So there's only 3, 4, 5. There's 5.5 45 gap cartridges out there. The Glock's 37, 38, 39, which is the full, mid, and compact.
I would actually carry a 38.
There you go. Springfield had the XD45 gap, which is what I have, and it's one of my favorite guns. And then Para made a subcompact 1911 in 45 gap, which is just awesome. But I can't find it anywhere, and I really, really want one. And then the half is Derringer has 45 gap as well. But those are the only 5-ish guns in 45 gap. But if you have a chance to shoot 45 gap, do it. Okay. The last thing on 45 gap, I really want to do a PCC AR-15 in 45 gap. That would be awesome.
That would be interesting. Now, see, I've had a couple people come up to me and ask me if I would build a 45 ACP PCC, in like a tactical fashion for like law enforcement. And I'm thinking about it, but right now, not a lot of companies are wanting to sponsor something like that. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I'm wondering how that would be to shoot, because almost like 9mm in an AR kind of sucks to begin with. And then you have reliability issues, but it would be interesting.
True.
What would be really cool is if they just did a PC carbine in 45, and then you can throw it into a tandem cross chassis, upriser chassis, which solves a lot of the ergonomic issues, primarily with the magazine release. Like I said, you wouldn't have to move your hand off of it to access the magazine release, and it already runs. If it would run Glockazines, that would be pretty cool.
Okay.
But then it's like, okay, well, you need large capacity Glockazines. Or Thompson mags. If they use Thompson mags or Uzi mags, because they're readily available in large capacities, because a PC carbine in 45 with 10-round magazines would just be stupid. Except if you live in one of those stupid banned states. But then just move.
Pretty much.
Wow, I am at a tear today. That's what happens when I work for the night. I should be going to bed already. But crap, I forgot. I gotta go put the chickens in. I'm home alone. Wifey left me. Oh yeah, so basically part of the reason, our wifeys do with our third girl sometime this week. So that's why I'm like, oh, we're gonna do it on my channel, or are we not? But it's awesome to see all of our regulars here.
It is. We've actually had a really good viewer rate put out for that. It's nice.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't see most of it because my iPhone has such a small screen.
we've been averaging between 9 and 12 viewers.
Nice. That's really good for you.
We've had Joe stop by in the chat. We've had Rogue Banshee stop by in the chat.
Yep.
We got Busty Clown in there right now. Ryan from Boone County Hydrographics is in with us. I'll be seeing him in about a week and a half because I'm dropping off my RPR chassis to him, and we're getting that done in Plum Crazy Purple because I got the new parts in from Anarchy Outdoors that are in purple.
Nice.
So
That was a very pretty color.
it is.
The blue one was too.
I haven't seen the blue one in person, but I was skeptical with the purple.
That blue was awesome.
And I told Aaron he needs to do orange.
Yeah.
Because I want to do a black and orange CZ 457.
Okay.
So now that I know MDT is making this stock or chassis that he's showing on his channel here on the top,
Ooh,
I want
pretty.
I want that in a 457. So I'll end up spending a few dollars more. The wife will have to understand. But I want it Cerakoted in orange, gray, and black camo.
See, and this is why partly I love Boyd's and the @1 stock.
Yep.
And it doesn't have an Arca rail, but it's pretty to begin with.
Actually, there's a company on Instagram that just made a universal Arca rail that fits like 300 different style stocks.
Wow.
And they were actually, if I can find the
That would be Arca rail. I mean, it would help with switching bipods on and off.
If you were competing with that,
Yeah.
you would want an Arca rail.
Yes.
I can promise you right now, like if you were shooting PRS, you would take that @1 stock and chuck it across the field and go get you an MDT or some kind of viable chassis system or even a foundation stock or something like that, and with a full length Arca rail. Once you go to that stuff, there's no going back.
Yes.
I have to agree.
I could see it. But it's a 22. Look, I have no problem shooting 300 yards with that little 22 with that little 16-inch barrel. Such a beautiful gun.
I put an Arca rail on my 22 RPR.
Yes.
Because I took it off my XLR, which now has the extended bipod system, the bipod XT. So I was like, what am I going to do with this? And I look over at my 22. Why not? And it made more sense, especially for competing, because all my competition rifles, NRL, PRS style rifles, my 6GT, the 6.5 Creedmoor, all have an Arca rail system.
Yep.
And they all have their own dedicated bipods now because I have the SR5 Arca rail bipod now on my GT, and oh my god, it's so much nicer. Not saying the Fab Spike is a bad bipod. It is a good bipod. It is a budget bipod, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start getting into the Accutechs, like as you know, because you got one on the one behind you, I got the HD 50 right here with the sled feet.
Yeah.
Yes.
You start getting into your higher end bipods, and it's like, I can't use the other one no more.
The old ones become just kind of, you throw them off to the side and you don't even worry about them anymore.
Well,
I think I've got a BR4, a WB5, and an FC5.
Yep.
And the FC5 is a monster.
That is a nice bipod.
Yeah, he's got the FC5. I've got the HD 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the FC5, like actually, we're supposed to send me the Arca rail version, but they didn't. They sent me the pick rail version, so I had to steal the Arca adapter from one of my other guns for my 6 Arc blaster. That's a damn fun gun.
I like the 6 Arc. That's a good deal.
Such an awesome gun, and now it's like it's taken a little bit longer to break in, but I mean it's consistently sub MOA. It was sub MOA. It's a tiny little bit pickier side. But I mean, had it past 700, no problem. Was spot on. We got the adjustable bag rider, the wrap stock. What's his face's name? Catalyst Arms rail. T-box brake. Matt, that's it.
Actually, I got to get a hold of Matt. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome. But that's actually cool. But I should have put it up here. The one I'm really excited to see. So I finished my Gucci 6 Arc build. The Proof Research 6mm arc. Such a nice gun.
I've got
Actually,
a Remington 700 converted to 6 arc.
see that I'm looking forward in a bolt action. Oh wait, hold on. Where's my gun?
Yeah, so we took a 223 action. We had the bolt face opened up to a PPC bolt face. A Seiko extractor put in it. Had a
Nice.
little bit of trouble with the tolerances. Ryan Hunt at Hunt's Long Range called me today, and he said that he had just finished up bushing my firing pin on that bolt, so I should get it back and get it back into action. But it's running a 24-inch MTU tapered
Nice.
Excalibur barrel.
Okay.
And I mean,
What
that
twist?
gun's in 1-7.
Okay.
1-7
Proper twist.
Yeah, we're running like the 105 Burger hybrids in
Yep.
that. I'm running the Hodgdon Lever Revolution powder.
Yes, I got 10 pounds of it. It's awesome powder, and so far that's been done really, really well. If you're looking for velocity, Lever Evolution is going to be the bee's knees. The one that I actually had really good accuracy with, though, is 8208. So IMR 8208 XBR. Awesome bench rust powder, honestly. It's a little bit on the faster side, so you got to watch. It does tend to spike. It's like it's stable, and then it just spikes on you.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to seeing how that one's going to do. And CFE 223, those have been the 3 powders that I've played with it.
I fought with the CFE 223. I know Kenny down there at DP Gunworks kind of turned me on to it, and I tried it. And I don't know I landed with, I can't remember the exact powder charge, but I'm turning like 2,905 feet a second.
Wow.
Yeah, on a CCI. I think it's just CCI 400.
That's hot. Wait, how big of a barrel?
24-inch.
24. Okay, so this is a 22, and we're at 2750 or so.
Yeah. We've got another build that's identical to mine, just in another stock, and he's running Shooter's World.
Okay.
Yep. And
those
I
are
can't
good
remember
powders.
which one. I think maybe it's a match, or I can't remember which powder he's running. But he's consistently in the low to mid 2800s.
Yeah,
he's playing with it on the same bullet.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I have a detailed video on 6-ARC that I did a number of months ago, and it's actually one of my best videos in terms of views. The biggest challenge, and I think one of the biggest concerns that I have, damn it, I'm still looking at my main camera. One of the biggest concerns that I have with it is, so I mean, we're kind of talking about the discrepancy numbers. So I mean, like someone said, like, great chat, awesome, glad you're enjoying it, guys. So Chris brought up a point. So out of his 24-inch in a bolt gun, he's getting 2,900 feet per second. Out of this AR, sticking to max pressures as listed by Hornady, we're at 2,750. The thing is, you can push it a lot more. You can get a lot more potential out of a bolt gun. The problem that creates, though, is then from a marketing perspective, okay, now that is only going to be if you hand load for that cartridge, because all of the factory ammo is going to be loaded to AR-15 spec. So there's like big discussion points on that. I kind of suggest it's almost like 6.8 SPC1 versus 6.8 SPC2, but in reverse, where the first specs were actually higher up and then they toned it down for the second. But with 6-ARC out of bolt guns, and we only have factory guns from Savage right now, and if they, in their stupidity, I know I have 2 Savage guns here, but I kind of like that. I don't like that. Savage doesn't sponsor me. I actually paid for that. Haven't paid for that yet. But they went with an 18-inch barrel, which is a little bit ridiculous.
And that's why I canceled my order on that one.
Yeah, it's interesting. But we are supposed to have guns from Howa. We're supposed to have guns from Mossberg. They're supposed to have guns. And I guess talking to my friends at that company that starts with an R, they don't have anything concrete, but they're like, look, it's like if the demand is there for it, we can easily just spin up some barrels for it. And that's honestly one of the reasons why we went with the Ruger Americans and 6.5 Grendel, because we are going to, the next step of that is we're going to be converting it to 6 arc. So we have one barrel, which I've shown off before, is a carbon fiber 20-inch barrel by Oregon Mountain Rifle Company. They're supposed to be super balls out awesome. And I have an MDT chassis for that. And then the other one that I still have in 6.5 Grendel with all the Gucci stuff, with the Sharps chassis, Timney trigger. We are going to get a barrel. So like first we were going to, then we weren't going to, but now we're going to based on the demand for it. I guess you guys really like the 6 arc and 6.5 Grendel Ruger American stuff. But Patriot Valley Arms, we're going to be spinning up probably a 24 or as long of a barrel as we can, and shooting some of his 95 grain solids. And we're going to be really pushing that out, and that's going to be in our this gun that I just did at 6.5 Grendel, that one. And then I have another 6.5 Grendel Ruger American that's going to go into the lightweight MDT Brownells chassis, even though that's discontinued. Yeah, but it's going to be interesting. I'm excited about that caliber. It's a fantastic caliber. But I mean, honestly, what it was made for, it was made for the AR-15 platform. Because if you're going to go into a standard action Remington 700, then you might as well just shoot 6 Creedmoor to begin with.
Yeah.
Except if you go with a mini action.
See, this is why when you start getting into like the 6mm talk and stuff like that, this is why I went with the GT. And Panther Hollow's right on this one. When it comes the GT, the brass life is better. 1, longer length on the cartridge. 2, it's got pretty much next to the same velocity as a 6 Creedmoor, but better barrel life. And
Mike,
for PR,
Panther Hollow's actually.
Yeah.
So I know him. He lives down the road from me.
Oh, nice.
And so he just commented that I own the 6 arc that he was having trouble with. Actually, Phil, the guy that photobombed me over here earlier, he owns that rifle. And I guess Mike had some issues with it, but Phil seems to have it shooting pretty good. But yeah,
issues in terms of what? And that's honestly why I went with the Ruger American, because everything else is plug and play as long as the barrel is not screwed up. But it was amazing that like somebody brought up like accuracy, like do I have accuracy issues with 6.5? I'm sorry, with 6 arc. And so I have, how many 6 arc guns do I have?
Well, here's the thing.
2,
Kenny over at DP Gunworks, which
4.
is also Eagle Eye Shooting, he had a lot of issues in the AR-15 platform with the 6 arc.
Yeah.
Now, for his PRS rifle or NRL style rifle, he runs a Savage short action in 6 arc with a 26-inch barrel. And he's had phenomenal accuracy and phenomenal results with that. He's won 2 or 3 competitions with that setup already, and he's got the XRS chassis from MDT in his.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's kind of like what I'm looking forward to seeing. But like so, I know. So the first barrels that came out from Odin Works, they had issues. Those issues were because they undersized the gas port on there, and because it's using a rifle. Well, Sammy Spec uses a rifle +1 gas system. So and even this gun was a pain in the ass to get running right. So I had to play with a couple of different buffer weights. I have an adjustable gas block on there, but everything like seems fine. But I mean, the first couple of mags, I mean, it wouldn't feed more than 50% of the time. So I mean, some of it was probably the new MN2 magazines. But now they've been fine. The springs in there were a little weak, so they replaced the springs in those new magazines, and they have actually been fine. But accuracy-wise, it's really been pretty good. The one I was really surprised about was the Faxon barrel. So not the current production Faxon, but the first barrels that came out they were made by Faxon for Brownells on Brownell specs. And Brownells, in their ingenuity, they decided, so Sammy spec is 1 in 7.5. This is a 1 in 7. They decided to go with a 1 in 8-inch twist to kind of stabilize your lighter weight bullets, even though there is no lightweight ammo. They also went with a much shortened gas system. So I will say that gun was 100% reliable. And even with the crappy fit and finish, the gun was still sub MOA, which really kind of surprised me. With everything, it was still sub MOA with factory. The next one, like I said, the one I have built is the Proof, which should shoot really, really well. And then I have a Ballistic Advantage 18-inch barrel that I haven't put into anything yet. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. But I am excited to try it in a bolt action platform. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, the problem with AICS ones, you got to use the Primal Rights conversion kits, which have worked really well with the Grendel. But honestly, I would love to pick up a Howa Mini or a CZ Mini action. And like I said, both of those were supposed to have 6 arc and haven't seen anything yet. They've been delaying those.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm going to do. I need to go before as soon as it's already dark, but I got to get the chickens in. But if this is still going to be on, when I come back, I will replace this gun with the Gucci build so you can see it for yourself.
What I'll do is I'll just hide you. Go do what
perfect.
you need to do, and
I'll be back in about 10-15.
Okay. So, I don't know. I didn't jump on the arc like he did. I was gonna, but I decided not to.
I built mine. It's always shot really well. I've gotten some really good numbers out of it. Not everybody agrees, it seems like, but it is what it is. I mean, mine's done really, really well, right up till I started Pearson primers and the curse of the Remington 700 action got a hold of it, and it was like that, and it just I put it aside. And I think Ryan Hunt, I can't remember how long he's even had it, but hopefully I'll get it back next week, because kind of like SlavGuns, those were some of my better views as far as videos were concerned, were on my 6 arc. Mm-hmm. But I'm anxious to get my 25 Creed up and going if PT&G will ever get me the tools to finish it.
Right. The 25 Creed more is one I'm looking at. I have a Macmillan MC3 stock that they sent me out a while ago for a build, and I've really thought about maybe trying NRL Hunter next year.
Yeah.
And the 25 Creed, because with the power factor, you can use it.
Yep.
Because I don't want to use my 6.5 Creed.
Mm-hmm.
That one's specifically set up for like PRS, NRL, and stuff like that. But they want, you can use it, but they want you to have more of a hunter style rifle.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm thinking about it, because my new hunting rifle I'm building for myself is 25-06 Ackley improved.
Yeah, that's a really good cartridge.
So it'd be nice to have both my actual hunting rifle and maybe a hunting competition rifle in that. So I'm really debating on it. I keep finding 25 cal stuff all over the place, and I'm like, damn it, I just need to do it. I need to pull the trigger, get it done. Because
I thought it would be kind of cool to get a custom chambered Magnum with a tighter twist, and do a 257 Weatherby mag, but have a twist rate that would work really well for the new, the Burger 133s and 135s.
Like a 7.5 twist.
Yeah, well, even my Creedmoor's 7 1/4. So.
Oh, okay. So you're running because most people I know of that are running the 25 Creedmoors, because they were running 131 Blackjacks, they were running 1 and 7.5.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 7.25 would be nice, especially on that 257. Because I actually thought about running, because my whole concept for my 25-06 is carbon fiber barrel. I don't know who I'm going to use for the action yet. It's either going to be Cowbleys, because I really like their product,
Oh yeah.
or Mac Brothers out of South Dakota. And they do more of a true version of a 700 action and do a proof 7.5 twist carbon fiber barrel, like I said, and maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm debating between the Gray Bow, Phoenix stock, or something on the lines of that, something lightweight. So the whole rifle with scope, because I was looking at the X3 Primal or the X5 Primal scope.
Yeah. As far as stock goes, I tell you, we just did a 7 mag setup on a 700 with a carbon fiber barrel, but we went with a AG Composites adjustable chalk,
Okay.
and I am absolutely in love with that stock. I will have one of my own before at some point in the future.
I think
If they're listening, I wouldn't turn one down. I would certainly look at one.
You know, I've talked to AG Composites in the past because I wanted to use them on my 338 build.
Yeah.
And then I came to the realization a carbon fiber stock and an actually improved 338 just doesn't match for me, especially with my shoulder.
Yeah. I was really amazed at how well that setup that we put together mitigated recoil. I don't know if you're familiar with Anthony Ward up there at Crown Ridge Barrel Works.
No, I'm not.
So I think he used to do some stuff with Kenny as well.
Okay.
When Kenny kind of was getting going or whatever at some point or another. But Anthony has a self-timing muzzle brake that he come up with and designed himself. And we were running it on that 7 mag, and it's an alloy muzzle brake. It's like 1 ounce. And I was just utterly shocked at how well that gun shoots. In that video, there's actually like slow-mo showing. I mean, the gun doesn't rise. It doesn't, go nuts. It just comes straight back. And and I've never been a 7 mag guy. Like I just kind of, I was always 300 Win Mag, 338 Win Mag, stuff like that.
Okay.
On the Magnums. And after shooting that gun, I kind of had to rethink it a little bit.
Gotcha. See, I've been running I've been running these. I got 2 of these. I got one in 338 and one in 6.5. Both in the 950 diameter. These are Kelbley's new claw brakes.
Mm-hmm.
And the 6.5, it's amazing. I haven't yet to try it with the 338 yet. Unfortunately, we got a burn ban right now. And I have it on the 338 improved. It's a nice brake. I really like it. On the, like I said, the 6.5. It's definitely kept it from any muzzle rise, especially shooting hotter cartridges.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will say, oh, 6.5 has no recoil. Let me load some shit for you, and I'll show you.
Well,
here's my hold my beer moment.
Yeah, hold my beer and watch this. Yeah, it's I'd even say tell those guys to come to a PRS match, and shoot 6.5 all day, and watch these other guys shooting, the 6 GT and the 6 Creedmoor and the 6 Dasher especially. Those seem to be really prevalent rounds at a PRS match, and they're getting away with probably less recoil than I am, but their gun might only weigh 17 to 18 pounds.
Yeah. Where
to get down to that, my gun weighs like 24 and a half pounds. My ACC is low. I mean, I'm running a straight no taper barrel, 27 and a half inches long, something like that. And the ACC is loaded with weights underneath the barrel. I don't run any externals, but then the stock's loaded with everything it can get. it's just heavy.
Yeah, my GT is probably right in the 15, 16 pound range right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit of work getting done to it on the stock, which I should have that back by the end of next week. So, and I'm working on a project with the company right now with the gray bow Ridgeback stock, but I'll send you pictures of that when it gets done so you can see.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know around here we're pretty partial to that Ridgeback. Phil, the shop owner, he's in love with the thing.
that's what I have my 338 improved sitting in right now.
Yeah, for me, I love the stock. The quality's great, but the grip is just too small for my hand. My hand hangs off the bottom.
Okay.
But like I said, I recently purchased a Foundation Genesis 2, and if you haven't tried one, you might want to look at them.
Here, let me look one up.
Yeah, they are slick. They're solid micarta.
Oh, geez.
I think those,
Are they a heavy stock?
they are heavy.
They are heavy. Okay.
They are heavy, but they kind of they're kind of patterned like the Graybow Ridgeback as far as the look goes. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the Genesis 2 there, I think, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so underneath, like in the barrel channel, they have all these little hexagons that are milled out, and you can buy a weight kit, and you can weight
nice.
the fore end of it. And but the rear of it is just like a solid block of material. That thing is a heavy stock, but it feels really good. And the way it mitigates recoil, it's a weird. It's not like shooting anything else. It just feels dead.
That's interesting. I'm going to bring that. I'm going to let you talk about it. But that's an interesting concept inside the forend there.
Yeah, yeah, and like the thing is, they don't actually make the weight system. I think it's Deep South Tactical has them or something like that.
Okay.
But it's just all the feel of that stock, and they don't do like a generic 700 inlet, right? They are specific. If you want a Terminus, Zeus action, they will inlet it for that. You want a Voodoo 22, they inlet for that. And so on and so forth. You can go all the way down the line, because everyone, they're 700 footprint, but they have their own. The ejection port's a little different, and some of the tolerances may be different. They may use a different size recoil lug. So they take those guys over there. They take a lot of time and effort to really produce a really nice product, and like they don't pay me to say that. I just say it because I bought one with my own money, and I like it that much.
I mean, when you're upwards of that $1,200 mark, that's about the same price as an ACC chassis.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
It's it's going to cost you a pretty penny, but you're getting a really nice piece of craftsmanship when you're done, and it's gorgeous. I mean, look at that thing.
It is. It is a very nice stock. I'm not going to say it's not. I said this is the action I have coming next year is the Prometheus.
Yep.
This is going on. This is my 6GT barrel is going on this because it's Project Prometheus. But like I said, my other short action. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to do. It's either going to be a Creedmoor, 25 Creedmoor. I was going to do another 6GT.
Come on, join the 25 Brotherhood.
I'm thinking about it because I'm building my hunt rifle. It's going to be a 25 also. But oops, here, let me go back. Oh, okay. Bring it back to your channel. No, I'm thinking about it because I'm actually finding the 135 burgers on the shelf here where I live. So,
really?
Yes,
they are hard to get down here. I managed to stumble off into 1,000 of them, and I'm hoarding them like they're gold.
See, I had that problem with the 300 grain hybrids.
Yep.
For the 338, and now I know where to get some. I'm gonna go pick up another box later. Probably when I get back from the competition. I gotta save some money. I got word yesterday of some 300 PRC Lapua brass, and I had to buy it. I had to. because the 300 PRC is one of my favorite cartridges.
I'm really anxious to try. I've shot one before, but a good friend of mine, he purchased a Barrett MRAD,
Okay.
and I'm anxious to get behind that gun. I want to see how it does.
I remember it does a Chamberlain 300 Norma. See, now that one of mine Slav's mutual friends has a Norma coming, now it's pushing me to want to go get a Norma barrel made. Because I have everything to load Norma except for a full-length sizing die and brass. So it's like, damn it, now I want a Norma.
Man, that's around here. It sounds like you kind of have the same problem we do. It's like, ooh, I want to try all this stuff, but man, this stuff is expensive.
Right? Well, the 3.3 improved project was supposed to be a dual purpose, have two barrels of 300 Norma and the 3.3 actually improved. So where it's my rifle, but now it's not. It's kind of going to my wife because now she wants a 2-mile rifle. So I'm building her that whole system right now. She's got a Timney hit trigger on it and everything else. Love the hit trigger.
I run it in all my bolt guns.
I haven't been able to actually shoot it yet, but just feeling it on the action was just like, oh my god, this thing is nice. And on my 33XC, I got a 2-stage Trigger Tech Diamond that was sent out to me. Thank you to Trigger Tech. But like I said, now I really want to get that Norma barrel made and have her really shoot that before we do the improved. Because I might just have to have the Norma barrel made so it fits in the Ridgeback stock. So I'm like, well, I was going to do another 300 PRC, but not with the Norma.
Yeah, you just, down here, you just don't see a lot of the big magnums, it seems like. You'll see a couple of guys will have some Lapuas, a couple guys will have some 300 PRCs. I know where there's a couple of 50s running around, but it just, the PRS style cartridges, the short actions, they seem to really be the most prevalent as far as custom rifle goes down here. But I mean, I've been telling everybody, it seems like in our area, it seems like a lot of guys are moving to rimfire. With components being so hard to get, everything's getting just crazy expensive. Even at the wholesale level, it's ridiculous. Just rimfire is really getting appealing in our area. So it seems. Not everybody. I mean, you're always going to have guys that, they're going to, all they want to do is shoot rimfire or center fire. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just, there's just as many people who don't have good access to components and stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, that's understandable. And up here, because I don't live too far from where they do the, the Night Force Challenge on the border of Montana and Wyoming, it seems to be a lot of people are using the Norma for that. I'm a big 5.6, I'm a big 300 PRC person, and I would have loved to gone to it this year, but the problem is I didn't have enough brass because it's like 160 rounds.
Yeah.
When you think about it, that's like 2.5 pounds of powder, and I only had probably 100 pieces of brass, and some of it is just about expired because I shoot the hell out of that gun.
Yeah. I need to do some more reloading for my 6.5 Creedmoor. I think I've got like 100 pieces of Lapua brass, small rifle prime left that I need to get fire formed and all that before I go back and start sizing all my brass and getting ready to go back through and do it all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I just got a box of 338 Lapua brass. Found it at the local pawn shop of all places.
Hey, man, you got to check out those local shops. You never know what you'll find.
Yeah, I got it for $140, brand new.
There you go, man.
So I was like, $350 brass for $140. Take my money.
Yeah. that's kind of like, oh God, I don't know. Do you get on TikTok very much?
No.
No, you see those little videos guys are doing with stuff, and they got their card out there like smacking it on the table.
Mhm.
Here, take my money, go. They just suspended my account again.
Oh Jesus.
Fucking assholes. But they decide I had a video that I posted kind of at the wrong time of day, and it just tanked. So I just deleted it. I was like, well, shoot, I'll put it back on later.
Mhm.
Same exact video, re-upload it, they flag it and suspend me. And it had already been posted once.
Yeah, TikTok's been doing that to a lot of people. There's a forger, a bladesmith that I follow on Instagram, and she just got kicked off TikTok and everything else, and it's freaking ridiculous. It's some of the social
like we
media
don't have
stuff
enough stuff to worry about.
right? And then, but when it comes to the Magnum calipers, they are big out here. 6.5 Creedmoor, 6 Creedmoor is more bigger and prominent in the PRS scene out here.
Yeah.
So
that 6 Creed, I mean, I still think it might be the most prevalent round around here. A lot of folks jumped on, because you could hand load and do really well, but that Hornady match stuff is, you could go pick up a few boxes of that and go and be competitive.
just let me know, Max, when you want to come back on. Okay. So, Mr. Slab that. But no, the rifle you see behind him, that Savage, 110 Elite, I actually have one of those on order in a 6 Creedmoor.
Yeah.
So I figured, why not buy one that's all fully set up? I mean, yes, the 6 Creedmoor is a barrel burner. I mean, you can get 1,200, 1,300 rounds out of it. But the thing is, it's going to be my backup rifle, so I don't really have to worry about that too much.
Yeah.
Because the GT is my go-to cartridge when it comes to the 6.
Yeah, I've got the lonely little 6 Arc. That's all I got for 6 mil anymore, man. And it'll have to do.
6 GT looks interesting.
It is. It's a fun cartridge. And if I remember right, Ryan is going to bring his 243 Win RPR out for his backup rifle, and I think he's shooting 22 Creedmoor at the Badlands Steel Challenge this year.
What? Wow.
Oh, dude, he loves that 22 Creed.
I want a 22 Creed too. I don't want to change barrels every 600 rounds.
Man, I know some coyote hunters around here. They swear by that round.
Oh, it looks amazing.
See, if I was going to do it, I would go with the 22 GT.
22 PRC. Think about that.
Oh, Jesus. Dude, oh my God. Yeah, 100 rounds, change the barrel. Flow that on some H1000. Now, you got the perfect platform back there. If you wanted to get rid of the 6.5 Creedmoor, no, that's right. You got yours in 300 PRC. I forgot.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Okay. The one we don't talk about, pull that 6.5 bullshit off of there and put a 6 GT, and you'll see how much more stable that rifle would be.
Derek, what are you talking about? The Ruger Custom Shop only comes in 6 Creedmoor.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Bullshit.
No, it does.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they probably had a couple of pre-production samples and some other calibers that I thought would be more popular, and that's what they decided to go with. But
no, well, I can't. I have my 110 Tactical 308 coming in. That should be here next week.
I need to find. Oh, speaking of that, since Drew's still here.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
What's he doing now?
This could go badly.
I know, right? The one thing I will say that Savage did do right with putting the 300 PRC in the 110 Elite, as they did a 1 8.5 barrel.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Hey, Drew. Do you know what this is?
Oh, that's the new trigger tech. He's
But-
gonna tease me. I will put that comment up. Yes. He's gonna. Oh man.
Yeah. So, at the Ruger Custom Shop precision rifle, one of the big selling perks of that gun is that it comes with a Trigger Tech trigger. Trigger Tech has not made triggers for the Ruger precision rifle, and the one that they have in that factory production gun is a straight trigger blade special trigger. So it's adjustable down to about 1.5, 2 pounds, fairly clean 2-stage trigger. That naturally got people thinking, well, are they going to make the diamond trigger? And, well, if you want American, hold on.
Buzz, you did it now. You did it now. He's got that one too. So the whole brand thing. He's Mr. Ruger. I'm like Mr. Savage. So
Right.
when it comes to like our stock brand rifles, he is a big Ruger guy. I'm a big Savage guy.
All right. Let me see. Which
I
one
have
of
no
these
loyalty.
is the right trigger? Okay, so that's the one that they sent me by accident, and so they sent me the Ruger Precision Rimfire trigger. So now I got to go get a Ruger Precision Rimfire.
Which they haven't sent me one yet.
This is the one I just picked up at Comp Expo. That's the hit.
Chris is a big hit fan.
This is going on a very special gun that's going to get around the world. Also in 300 PRC. And if Derek is let go, he's going to come with me and he's going to spot, and I will spot for him.
We can do Greenland. I can go to Greenland. So we're good
Okay.
there.
Who the hell wants to go to Greenland?
That's the King of 1 Mile over there.
They have King of 1 Mile in Greenland?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so then basically they have the Ruger Precision Rimfire, and then also have a jar trigger for this as well. The Ruger American comes with these new packaging. They're trying to reduce the cost. And that trigger, well, this is the stock trigger out of the Ruger American. I just have the box. The trigger is actually in my gun.
Are they going to do one for the Ruger American rimfire? Not the precision, but the American rimfire.
I think they have one.
Jard. Jard has a Ruger American rimfire trigger.
Yes, okay. Yes.
Because I have a Ruger American rimfire target, the laminated with the stainless.
That uses apparently a different trigger than the others. I was talking to, it was Aaron from Anarchy Outdoors, I'll confirm, but he was talking about it, and no, I think he's talking about the bolt. The bolt was slightly different on there. Probably is the same trigger. I'll find out from him exactly. Okay, so yeah, basically, so the question was going to be on the Ruger Precisions, would Trigger Tech actually come out with a diamond? So one of our friends, Aaron from Anarchy Outdoors, he was in touch with them, and they were planning on doing some triggers, and they sent him some samples. I'm sure they sent him a bunch of other people. I don't know how this one came to my possession.
Bullshit.
I need
But
better friends.
but here's the thing, though. This is not going to be the trigger that's going to get sold. Why? Because this only works in one series of guns, so only half the Ruger Precision Rimfire, only half the Ruger Precision rifles. I don't know how, but Derek, you might know, but Drew definitely does. Anybody who knows the Ruger Precisions knows. So the first generation of Timney triggers for the Ruger Precision rifle, they have a cutout towards the back.
Mhm.
The reason for the cutout is that on the second generation of guns that came out, including the Magnums, the back piece is different, and the original triggers, you can't stuff them in there. Trigger Tech, I don't know how. They designed this trigger for this regular Ruger Precisions. This does not work on the Magnums. So we're going to go back and redo these. So that's one of the reasons for the delays.
Well,
but
if that one just won't work in anything you're doing, I've got one of those American flag Ruger Precisions sitting at the house.
Nice.
You're more than welcome to send that thing on over.
I might. I'll put you in touch with some people who know some people.
There you go. I like that. That sounds good.
Yeah, so actually, the reason why I'm getting these triggers is we're doing a big comparison of the available Ruger Precision rifle triggers.
I got dibs on that rimfire trigger.
Well, no. Just
Derek, I'm buying a gun. I'm buying a gun to use this trigger.
Yeah, well, damn Timney hasn't gotten back with me yet. That's kind of pissed me off.
Sorry?
As much money as I've spent on their stuff, I think I'm due.
Well, how big is your channel?
I think it's 535
and something. What is it?
535.
535?
Derek, what am I going to say?
Media kit.
And?
Promote.
And?
God, there's a whole list here. What one am I missing?
The big one about stop.
Yeah, stop buying shit.
And?
Doing free shit.
Yes. Stop buying shit. Grow your channel. Put out get a media kit, and then you can get all this shit for free.
A media kit. You may have to invite...
I'll invite him into the room if it's okay with you.
Let me think about it.
Let me think.
Oh man, you're killing me, dude.
Yeah, I know, right?
He thinks, I'm sorry, but anybody who thinks a SIG P226 is a nice handgun,
Oh my god.
yes, that is fine.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That's
man.
Okay, here's the final. Is 45 gap, this is your challenge question, is 45 gap the best handgun cartridge there is?
I don't know if I could sell my soul.
It'd be worth it.
Oh my god.
I don't know. That's rough. I'm open to trying it.
Oh, is 45 gap the most idealistic cartridge there is? That should be a definitive yes.
I don't know. It's probably pretty close.
Well, I mean, it was marketed as like God's gift to Earth. I'm sorry, God's gift from Gaston. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Gaston's gift to Earth.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh shit.
Oh,
But in all
Jesus
seriousness,
Christ.
45 gap is a pretty good cartridge.
Oh, I'd have
my
to shoot
God.
one first. I haven't shot one.
In theory.
I'll tell you right now. Here's my thing with the 45 gap. Great idea, poorly marketed and executed.
Yes.
So, if a company actually would have picked it up and made a slimmer frame for it, more law enforcement agencies would have stuck with that cartridge.
Well, I mean, really, kind of, it was a solution to a Glock problem. It wasn't a solution to any other problems.
Yeah.
If we're being fair. Yeah. All right.
I did.
I'm done with 45 gap. But damn
No,
it,
he's
I
not.
am.
He'll bring it up on the next one.
I haven't
just
brought it
put
up in a
Timney
while.
trigger. Not in the last 5 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, right.
So here's the thing. I mean, speaking of triggers, so I mean, playing around at Comp Expo, like a bunch of these guns that had the trigger techs, they feel a bit hollow of a trigger pull versus the Timneys. But the one I was really so at Comp Expo, Timney had their trailer in there, but a whole bunch of triggers. The one I was really blown away by, their AR trigger, the Daniel Horner 3-gun trigger. fantastic. This was the nicest. This was the nicest AR trigger. Derek, what you missed? The one I was surprised about from Trigger Tech? Their Daniel Horner AR-15 trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. That was like the nicest AR trigger that I've felt.
Now,
Exception, the trigger I have in that gun, which is the jarred AR-15 set trigger, and that is the nicest 7-ounce AR trigger I have ever shot.
I will have one of those ones coming soon. He offered me one.
Cool.
There is one trigger here that this is kind of an underrated 700 trigger, and I run this in my PRS rifle. Is the Elfman Tactical?
Okay.
This trigger really is underrated because it gives you the option to make it either left hand or right hand, so you don't have to choose, and then flat or curved trigger, and it runs off of a dual ball bearing system. I do have a review coming up on this trigger. Actually, I was going to do it when I was out in North Dakota because I can't shoot guns right now here because of the damn fire warning. But all the rain we get really doesn't mean shit. But this really is an underrated trigger, and this is right up there with like the price on the diamond and the hit and stuff like that. They're about $300.
No, well, I think isn't the hit like 169 or something like that? It's like
No.
It was like much more recent.
The hit's like 200, 220, something like that.
Okay, but it wasn't.
It's like 225, 240.
Okay, so but it's not like 300, right? I mean, like that's.
Well, the Trigger Tech Diamond 2-stage is over 300.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I have both the 2-stage and the single stage.
Yeah, and that's actually that was the weird part. Like even like going back to the Ruger Custom Shop when they messaged me, it's like they're telling me about like, hey, what this gun has. At first, I thought we were talking about Timney because, as far as I knew, Trigger Tech primarily made single stage triggers, and it's like, no, it's a 2-stage trigger. I'm like, oh, you mean Timney, because the Timney is a 2-stage.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, Trigger Tech. I'm like, all right. And that's how we discovered that Trigger Tech now makes triggers for the Ruger Precision Rifle.
Yeah.
Now, none of them are actually publicly available for sale yet, either the Diamond or the Field, but hopefully fairly soon.
Yeah.
And like I said, and the Jard is a single stage. So here's a question. What do you guys prefer, single stage or 2-stage? I keep going back and forth, but I think I lean towards a 2-stage trigger.
Single stage for me.
For my PRS rifles, I like the single stage. I like being because I can get it done faster.
Okay, I can see that.
For my ELR, my long range rifles, I like a 2-stage because I can sit there, put my finger on it, and set it, and then let it go.
Yeah.
So I really wish Jard made a trigger for the rimfire.
Yeah.
For the RPR rimfire.
No, say it again.
I said I wish Jard made a trigger for the RPR rimfire.
Don't they have one?
Nope, it's just a regular precision.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, I like the single stage, like on all my PRS or just any of my precision bolt guns. But on my AR trigger, I run that. What is it? The LaRue Tactical 2-stage.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's actually interesting. And like for me, like I guess for PRS it would be interesting. But I've really had a preference. I had a strong preference for 2-stage triggers simply because I like staging the trigger. And that first stage just lets me kind of get into that mindset. And like, okay, I'm about to like I take it up right to the wall. I hold it at the wall and then break the shot. And I think it could be the Gun Gamer USPSA because I mean, basically it's getting to that wall. Getting to that wall is almost kind of like your natural tendency. So I was like pretty interested in that like I said that they have it. But although interestingly, now that I think about it, the Jard Mossberg trigger and the Timney Ruger American are single stage, and I really dig those. Interesting. Well, it'll be a good video to do the comparison of all three.
Well, here's a trigger from Jard. I'm going to see if I can get one. Is they actually have a set trigger for the 700.
Oh.
Yeah.
I will say in full disclosure, after a couple hundred rounds, that set trigger, as soon as it set it, it just goes off.
Oof.
And it's
Fair enough.
like if you put any side act, it just goes off. If you push it straight up, it's okay for now. So we'll see. But then again, it was advertised as 9.5 ounces or something like that. Mine measures out at a consistent 7.
Really? Damn.
It's really nice though.
Oh,
Shit. I will say my jar trigger I have on the Savage is that trigger does nothing but cease to amaze me.
They're awesome when they work. Same thing with the 1022 trigger. They're awesome when they work.
I mean, I'm consistently pulling, I think it was like right about 14. Yeah, about 14, 15 ounces. And it's not like and it has no take up to it. It's there.
Drew, answering your question. So this is kind of like, it's not really completely curved, but it's not really straight. I don't recall if they have actually a straight one.
They don't.
Okay. Yeah, so the hit one, they do have a straight one.
That's what I run in my 338.
So that's going to go in our Kelbley 300 PRC King of 1 mile gun.
So here's a question: like with COVID and all that other crap going on, most of the manufacturers I know of, I work in manufacturing every day.
Mhm.
I'm a mechanical designer, design engineer. So, but everybody I know is having a really hard time getting any kind of new product developed. And I've noticed some of the optics companies aren't really coming out with new stuff coming up. Have you guys heard anything?
I would disagree with that.
Really?
Rex put a thing out a few days ago saying that a lot of optics companies are going to have a hard time getting glass soon. And,
That is possible.
And it is plausible. So
yeah, but I mean, let's say for example, developing new products. I mean, even just a complex. Well, I mean, you have new stuff from Vortex. You have new stuff from Burris. You have you might soon have new. Well, you have the RT25. That's new stuff from Burris. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, you messed that one up, didn't you?
Well, hold on. They're developing new product. I don't know when it's going to be out yet. Let's leave it at that.
How about a flat trigger shoe for a 457? No one has that.
Well, Timone's supposed to finish that trigger at some point or another.
Yeah, I've heard there's a prototype out there. I haven't actually seen one.
Yeah.
I know somebody who has one.
over there. Dig down in that pile and find that CZ 457 trigger.
I don't have a CZ 457.
I will soon.
Well, we do, so send it to us.
Yeah. No, so basically, I would say on the firearm side, yes, there was a lack of new product, but it was because manufacturers didn't. Let's put it this way: those Ruger American and 6.5 Grendel, I waited 8 months for. Hold on. 8 months for those. I waited. We ordered them back last October, and I finally got them. So, in the words of Ruger, it's like, why should we release new product when we can barely keep up with demand of basic 6.5 Creedmoors and stuff like that? I mean, most of our lines were developed for that, and so I'm still waiting on order for a Ruger American and 6.5 PRC, which is in the Go Wild edition. But that gun is don't expect it this year because I don't see it in the production calendar. So they haven't had to develop it. But now, though, if you're looking at the next date, I mean, gun sales have plummeted off of a cliff because, I mean, there's only so much demand that you can pull forward. Mm-hmm. And most FFLs, I mean, most gun stores I go into, I mean, there's plenty of guns. And, I mean, you even have some big manufacturers. They produced more than they could sell. I mean, U.S. Optics, the Zero Delta, is ZRO, I guess Zero Delta. Their ARs, then they came out, they were at $1,000, and those were really good deals. AIM Surplus was blowing them out for $600. you pretty much have any AR, any gun that you would want to find, except if it's like possibly something brand spanking new. It's available out there, so you don't have to look too hard for it. So they are coming out with them. The optics question, and this would be really good for Ilya, but with optics, I mean, there's really two ways of thinking about it. A lot of companies, so pretty much no one really manufactures their own stuff, except let's say, for example, Lootfold. There are competent OEMs both in China and the Philippines and Japan. And if you want to have a scope developed, you don't even necessarily need to develop it. You can basically go to a company and say, hey, can I see your catalog? And we can, option one is you can slap your name on it, and there's the product. There's a bunch of those products out there. There is a new scope from Bushnell, the XRS3, if I recall correctly, which looks like a
4.
No, 3.
You sure?
There's one that's
3, yeah.
There's one that's the 4, which is the hunting one, and then the 3 is the ELR type scope. And the reason why that scope is out there is because their OEM in Japan just came out with that one. So Bushnell came out with they're going to get their first dibs on it, and then you have other manufacturers that are going to come out with it as well. Like I said, some will take that basic scope and then have them tailor their own reticles and make their own minute changes to it. But so I mean, that's really where that's really where a lot of the development is. Like if you have a newer product, but beyond that, though, I mean, so you have Vortex came out with a bunch of new stuff. So you have the Venom, really, really nice scope. They have a couple of new ones. I think they're coming down the pike. They're investing a lot of. There's been massive, honestly, if you're looking at development, if you take a look at, so for example, SIG finally released the Sierra 6. But one of the biggest growth areas, Steiner just came out with new one, so range-finding binos, and now more an evolution of that, range-finding binos that have applied ballistics already as part of them. So you have the Furry AB, SIG has a pair, a couple other companies are also coming out with solutions on there. Steiner just came out with a solution like that, and those look pretty good. And Ilya is going to have, Dark Lord of Optics is going to have something on that. So there's definitely improvement in that regard. Element just came out with the Helix 4-16 front focal plane. There's definitely new product coming out there. What I do think people were holding off, I think a lot of the newer products. So keep in mind, so SHOT Show was canceled. There was no need to release product then, and a lot of that stuff. Well, let me hear. Prime example. There are new products there that I've been sitting on for a year because 10 months that I can't talk about. Even though the video's sitting there, and I just need to hit make public, but I can't because the gun hasn't been released yet, and they haven't had the need to release it. They're finally, I mean, so like, for example, like the pocket pistol, the carry market, they finally started releasing those products, and they had those. So the day that people found out that Ruger was going to have a new one, SIG released theirs, Smith & Wesson released theirs, and all of it was almost like in a time span of about 3 weeks. They've had those patents, they had those products ready to go for 2 years. There's no need to. There wasn't as much demand on the optics side, but and like I said, and that's because I mean, like, it's getting very competitive price wise. I mean, if you're looking for like I said, you can spend $400 to $500 and get a Venom or get an Arkin SH4. That new Bushnell Match Pro I'm waiting for $499 looks like a really nice scope. Element Helix is very nice. I think it's a little sharper, possibly. I don't think
I really want the Elite Tactical 3.5 to 21 by 50.
The what?
The Bushnell Elite Tactical 3.5 to 21 by 50.
Yeah, get in line. I'm in line for that.
Yeah.
But that one I'm not getting for free. It's going to be a teeny.
I would actually buy that one if they would give me a
But apparently, if you like that scope in that design, there's going to be other scopes that are coming out. But what's the price point going to be on that?
$14.99.
I would say wait for somebody. I would say wait. We can talk offline about it. But it's something that was really cool, and that would be a good question for Leah. But in that same price point, something that has a 2, it's also a number 3. It also, I think, has an X in a name.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, one of them is XTR, the other one is XRS. Wow. That's like... oh, shit. Let that one out of the bag.
Yeah. They
job.
both start with a B.
Yeah.
No. There are no B's in those names.
No.
Bushnell and Bushnello. No, but so, I mean,
I'm about ready for a bush latte.
I just finished my third cup of coffee. I didn't finish my third cup of coffee yet.
Actually, this has gone longer than I expected tonight.
I finished my third. Yeah, I know. So, I don't think that there's a lot. So, kind of going back to, I don't think there's a lack of product. I think there is no need to produce it.
Yeah.
But it's out there. It's coming out. With NRA canceled, so I mean we had a couple of new product introductions pulled. But we won't see anything for the next 2 months, and then we'll probably see new introductions, if anything, for NASGW, which is the National Association of Sporting Goods Wholesalers. So those are the industry trade shows that happen usually November, December before SHOT Shows. So that's really where the new products are shown to dealers and then announced before SHOT Show and shown at SHOT Show. But speaking of SHOT Show, unfortunately, I have a rainy cloud to put over it. So in light of NRA getting canceled, I emailed Chris Dolnak, who's the president of NSSF, who puts on SHOT Show, and asked him, like, hey, is SHOT Show going to be on, or is it going to be canceled? So as of right now, the plans are it's still going to be on, but there's still quite some time to go before then, and it's going to be interesting to see what the state of Nevada does. However, there are some really big shows that are already there. They've had big shows there, so hopefully.
Well, maybe we should get we should prepare a little more better this year for this next year.
I was ready to go.
SHOT. I'm talking about virtual SHOT Show.
We're not going to do virtual. We're going to go to Vegas.
Well, if SHOT Show does not happen,
we're still going to go to Vegas, and we're going to go tour. We're going to go up to Salt Lake City, and we're going to do stuff.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. That works.
I told you, we're going no matter what. Whether it's canceled or not, we're going. The only exception is if we have zombies or World War III. I'm sorry, Civil War II.
Well, either one of those last two, if you're watching the news, could happen any day.
Truth. Shit.
We're not going to talk about that senile idiot. And you know what? It's been was it 8 months?
Shit show.
I have not once called him POTUS. Not once. Because I refuse to.
I don't blame you.
I
don't think he knows he's president.
Isn't that the truth? That guy's going 100 miles per hour, and there's no one behind that fucking wheel.
Hey,
we were talking about that today. He had to do that press conference today, I think, at whatever time it was. And I made the comment, I'm like, well, they probably hit him with a couple shots of epinephrine, and I'm sure Hunter brought over the crack pipe to get him on the roll.
Right? They're drugging him like they did Michael Jackson.
All right, no more talk about pedophiles. You might get your stream canceled. No, but actually,
yeah.
speaking of virtual shot show, I did get an email today from Odyssey, asking about doing more gun focused live streams. So we're going to develop
Okay.
that. And one of the things that I had was to do an all. So it's with NRA being canceled and because I couldn't go to NRA, to do almost like a 5 or 6 hour long live stream, like we did with Virtual Shot Show, where we have manufacturers come on.
Let's do it.
And here's the key: because it would be Odyssey only, they can actually touch the guns and show the guns
Okay.
on the stream.
Well, it depends
Instead
on
of-
when.
instead of
we
remember,
plan on
like,
doing this.
we have to figure out. We have to work the time. It literally was an hour. I got that email an hour before
Okay.
we did this shindig.
Because
So we're
I'm
gonna work out
leaving either the 7th or the 8th.
we can figure it out. There
Okay.
was, like I said, they don't know if you want to have, but in either case, we can do it any day, and then they'll promote it. They'll do their own promotion behind it.
Nice.
Because, like I said, and now that Odyssey can do super chats and supports and stuff, that's awesome.
Okay.
Really, that is cool. Make sure you hang on to that email forever in case it.
Right.
Well, guys, I don't mean to be the
What is
first one out here, but
Quitter.
I've
Oh,
Have a good night.
I haven't even been home yet. I gotta go home.
Oh,
you're welcome back anytime, man.
Man,
I'll
I
send
appreciate
you an invite to the content creator group,
Cool.
and we'll get you set up. We'll show you how to do a media kit and all that type of stuff. I'll talk to you more about that offline.
Awesome. Well, guys, I really appreciate you having me on.
my people will talk to you about it. He'll mentor you. I've
There
done
you go.
enough. Have a good night, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
No problem, Chris. See you later, man.
See ya.
Oh, so damn it! I'm gonna draw the winner. Guys, we'll do a live stream on my channel, probably sometime a little bit later this week. Hopefully, as long as my wife doesn't go into labor. So anything I say, it's asterisk as long as my wife doesn't go into labor.
Well, hey, we could do a 2 for 1. You could do it right outside the room. There you go.
I can do it in the hospital room. And if I'm at home, I have to get this thing fixed because this webcam doesn't do it for me. I'm staring at the camera as I'm talking to you guys. I feel really, really bad. But so we have to draw the winner for our Olight giveaway. And then for members only, we do have a second Olight. And for this coming month, we're gonna I'll probably start at September 1st. We have a giveaway, and it's going to be so Element just released a new. Oh, I'm like showing it to that camera. They just released a new Helix 4-16. So I am gonna mount this. It's actually pretty nice. I'm gonna mount it to a gun.
Real quick, while we are talking about Element now, I do want to make an announcement for Element. Element Optics is releasing their own scope rings tomorrow.
Ooh!
So they did put it up on Instagram. They are releasing. I know they're releasing 30 millimeter for sure. I want to say they probably are releasing 34 because their main big seller is the Titan. Which, yes, I am taking the Titan with me to the Badlands Steel Challenge. It's on my 6.5 Creedmoor. Right back there in that case. I can't touch it. But
Yeah.
I actually did send an email to see if I can get a couple sets of their rings because they do look really, really nice.
Oh yeah, I have someone that can hook me up with rings. I will say the Arkin rings are pretty nice too, and the Arkin mount is pretty decent.
Yeah, I don't want to
I
fucking pay
bought
for
a set of loophole rings because I was short a set of 34 mils.
it. Yeah.
The freaking screw just broke on there.
Oof.
So yeah, this is the new Helix 4-16. They actually updated the reticle on here just a little bit, and I think it's
They
for the
did.
better.
They did, and I was talking to what's his face about it. I don't
Shane.
want to mention his name. Oh, I didn't know if I had. I didn't want to get in trouble for
It's
mentioning.
not
his
like
name.
we know his last name.
Okay. Well, I talked to Shane about the reticle, and he asked me if I wanted to do the 4-16 or the 6-24, and I told him more towards once I get the hunting rifle build, I want the 4-16 for my hunting rifle.
Okay.
So I told him like, I'm gonna wait off a little while.
Wait, the 4-16 second focal plane? Wait, no, they don't have a 4-6 second focal plane. They have a 6-20.
The 4-16 first focal plane.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to do one for review, and then, hey, my serial number is 68. We're also going to do one. We're going to give one of these scopes away. Oh, fuck, I'm showing it. We're going to give one of these scopes away.
I love this.
I'll say these are really nice turrets. Out of all of them, like I said, the image quality is not going to be the sharpest, but I really like the reticle on here.
You know,
I really like the reticle on here.
I really on my Titan. I really love the turrets on that Titan. So I'm hoping the Helix is just as good.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm thinking about I'm debating. Now this is my big thing, and this is why I want to throw this out there for everybody. I'm debating on putting the Helix on either the 308 Winchester I have coming in, or putting it on my competition 22 that I'm building.
Put it on the 308 for 22 if you're going to do any type of ELR type stuff. This is not going to have enough internal elevation adjustment. Well, the 4-16 would have enough internal elevation adjustment. The 6-24 doesn't have as much. I do think you need...
I only need it to go out to like 200 yards.
Then you'll be fine. Yeah, then you'll be fine. Well, so for example, I have the Titan on my 22 right there.
See, I did that earlier this week.
Yeah. But it works perfectly on there. Actually, what I don't remember is where's the Helix? Oh, it's on the Mossberg. Yeah, it's on the Mossberg. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
That's where the 6-2-20.
Yeah.
And like I said,
don't you have the second focal plane Helix?
And I also have a second focal plane too.
Yeah. See, I was debating on doing the second vocal plane Helix if I like the first vocal plane on my hunting rifle build. But then they launched the 4-16, and I was like, damn it. I'm like, okay. I'm like Shane, you made my scope for me. Especially being a 44 objective, you can mount it nice and low, and the weight on it, from what I'm reading on paper, is really nice.
I really like the reticle. I love the turrets. I think the turrets are the best at this price point. The field of view isn't, and the eye box. It's actually, eye box is not bad. But here's the thing though, like for that $500, if you ask me about this or that Venom, I'd go Venom.
Well, I don't think those are at the $500 price point.
What is this? $499.
Yeah. Is it $499? Because I thought the other one was like $399. I know the. I thought that was at the $399 price point. That's why.
The second focal plane possibly might be.
Okay. I'll have to look that up.
How do you think the Helix would hold up on an AR-10 with one? It'll be fine. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Like I said, so let's put it this way, better than an AR-10. The other Helix, it's on a 6.5 PRC.
Okay.
And
yeah,
in a fairly lightweight 6.5 PRC.
Yeah, because I got a set of Warren rings, medium height Warren rings I was going to use. So I might put them in the 308. Unless they send me a set of their rings, then I'll use their rings.
I'm surprised he didn't send me a set of rings because I just got the scope. Actually, I got the scope like 2 weeks ago.
Well, I just found out about the rings today.
From Shane or
Instagram?
Okay.
So I sent Shane an email right away. I was like, oh, and I saw them and I'm like, God, those are actually really nice. Here, let's see if I can find those. I don't even know if they'll even be online.
Actually, so your dad was asking that would be on. Oh, somebody else was asking about an AR. Yes,
Ryan
so
was
both
too.
you're okay. So I think the 4-16 for an AR. So basically that's the Gucci build. Coda Evolution carbon fiber handguard, Proof Research carbon fiber barrel, DSI receiver set, Mission First Tactical buttstock. That's the minimalist aluminum one. Pretty dang nice. I haven't shot it yet, but for that, like optics wise, I was actually thinking of throwing a scope on there. Crap, I have to run to a meeting. Buzz, thank you for joining, sir.
Thanks, Buzz. Nice hanging out with you again, man. Here, let me see if that's.
Yeah, but so basically, I have it on the Mossberg in 6.5 PRC, and I'm shooting. Actually, the velocity on there is pretty high. It's like 31 ish, 3150. It's pushing them.
Here, let me bring this over. Okay.
But that's why you have the lifetime warranty. No, so actually, in terms of QC, I have the highest faith. So, for example, if you bought a Helix, an SH4, and a Venom, out of the box, I would say the Helix would probably be working out of the box. 95% certainty. About 85 to 90 with the Vortex and 50-50 with the Arkin.
I haven't gotten the Helix yet. I'm looking forward to it. With the Titan, I will put that Titan up against that Venom, the Strike Eagle 5 to 25.
Yeah, but the Titan's also $300 more.
Yeah,
200, 300.
but it's also better. No, no, I'm just saying because that's the only element scope I have experience with right now.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, there's a major
Venom is
difference in
nice.
image. There's a major difference in image quality between the two. Like I said, I mean, on a bright sunny day, they all look great, and the reason why the Arkans is that Arkans are probably going to be brighter than the Vortex, Venom, and the Strike Eagle. So, I mean, and that's unfortunately what most people look for in terms of getting an image quality for what actually looks better. But when you're comparing sharpness and chromatic aberrations, that's really where you start seeing a lot of big difference. So, I mean, on the video that I had, I mean, the one that's been getting a lot of views lately is the Arkin SH4 versus Vortex Venom video. And there are people who's like, well, like, Joe is a shill. And it's like, well, I'm not going to touch that one. But I will say, though, is he is correct. So the central point of Joe's video is that he believes, like, so what he brings up is that the Arkin is more consistent and sharper edge to edge. I agree with that, absolutely. The Venom, there's almost like a ring around the edge where it does get a little bit duller. However, when you look at the center, or actually where you're going to be using, and using a lens resolution chart, the Vortex Venom was sharper. And to kind of throw some insult into this, I was at a range with a friend, and he had a Diamondback. The Diamondback was sharper than the SH4. Granted, the image quality on there was overall, the colors weren't reproduced as well, and the Diamondback had a lot more chromatic aberrations. However, it was sharper. So it really kind of boils down to, like, what are you looking for in a scope? For me, it's about resolution and it's about chromatic aberrations. It's less about a more consistent picture all around, because I mean, in bright conditions, we're all going to be fine. It's when you start going out further, that's where you start seeing the differences.
Yeah, see, for me, it's tracking.
Well, yeah, and besides that,
And
That should be a
Tracking is one of
given,
my is one you yeah, but still, it's one of my big pet peeves is when you get into a
Stop
scope.
shooting Blackhound.
If I could talk about that scope, I just had to do a thing about, if that is marketed right, that is going to be a game changer in the market. But
Well, they got rid of the. So right now, I don't have anything. I don't have any. What's the word I'm looking for? Not concerns, but I don't have any moral grounds on which I wouldn't look at a Blackhound optic anymore. Now I would be able to. Let's say my issue with them was actually staffing, not.
yeah, I mean, Blackhound, it's a good scope for $400. I mean, is it a Helix? Is it a Venom? Is it a SH4? No,
Drew, buddy, you're good.
you're good, man.
No. He's replying. He was looking at like
Oh,
he's a channel member and he hadn't seen anything build. Wait, didn't you say that you had some Google credits or something like that you were using? But in either case, you get billed as Google. But yes, yeah, you're spot on. You're good. All right. Sorry about that. Ooh, those look pretty nice.
so, I mean, I got nothing against Blackhound. I mean, I've been working with them for a while. They have a good scope. Their scope line when they first came out was not to be in that precision rifle area. It was for the everyday man, is what it was. And I've had two of them, both MOA and mill. I much prefer the mill. I much prefer the mill, and I've shot competitions with them, but they're not a competition scope per se.
So here's the thing. Why would anybody in the right mind, so for example, and this is the issue I had with Blackhound. It was almost kind of like a multi-level marketing organization, at least when they approached me. If you're spending $400 on a 6-24 now, understand for 4-16 is cheaper, and actually that could be a really, really good value. But if you're going to spend $400 or $450 on a 6-24, why would you get a mediocre Blackhound while we're living in the world of Arkin SH4s, Vortex Venoms, the Strike Eagles?
Because when the SH4 wasn't out, when Blackhound launched their first scope.
Well, they had the original SH4s.
Yeah, but those were at the 550 price point, not the 400.
No, you're thinking the EP4.
Okay, the EP4.
They had the SH4.
Yeah, they had the SH4, but that really wasn't their. That wasn't. I really didn't promote that one as much as they did the EP4.
Well, but so even here, let's say, even they might have been out a little bit earlier, but even at that point, though, no one heard of Blackhound. I mean, there's like 1 or 2 videos out there for them. But if somebody is considering Blackhound, that means they also know about Burris, they also know about Arkin, they know about Swamp Fox, and like I said, and those are kind of like at that same price point.
Okay.
So, yeah. Like I say, I just don't like those new ones that they may potentially come out with. Could be interesting, but I think it's a very, very crowded world. I'd probably say that maybe like the Diamondback might be as good of a scope. I don't know.
The downfall with the Diamondback Tactical didn't come with a zero stop.
Oh, wait, hold on. How can we forget? We have Athlon Midas Tac.
The Midas Tac, but that was also... No, you're thinking the Argos. The Argos was in the $400 range.
Yeah, but the Midas Tac is almost the same price point. Like, I mean, they have the MSRP, which is high, but you buy them for below MSRP.
Yeah, I think... I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what the MSRP was at that time on those. But, I mean, it's... I don't know.
Oh, and then now we have the Philippine ones. So we have the Crimson Trace, which apparently are pretty nice scopes. We have the
True.
Primary Arms GLX, which is interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting why Crimson Trace had some really nice scopes.
They had
especially the
high-end
34
scopes.
and their 34 millimeter tubes, and now everything that they do is all 30.
Yeah, they decided to basically stop chasing the high-end market, and they decided to go from Japanese stuff to Philippine Pinoy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, but if it's as good as the GLX, it's actually going to be really good. Now, so the Element, is it just 34 or 30?
For
Rings.
they have the 30. Is
Okay.
what they have the picture of. I want to say they're probably going to do a 34 because of the Titan.
Since they have the Titan. And
Yeah.
so the Titan
And
and the Nexus.
the Nexus is a 30 millimeter tube.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trust me, I would love to have my hands on a Nexus someday.
Yeah, it's a tract.
It's a track. Well, I don't have access to track, so not yet.
You should.
I've emailed them. I never
Yes,
heard
I
nothing
know.
back. So
Right.
okay, I think we should call it a night.
I'm reaching my limit.
Okay,
This is good.
It was, and it's good bringing somebody else on and bringing on new content creators and everything else.
Yeah.
And
So actually, but you know, I'm really glad that you brought him on because to kind of go back to discuss the point. You know, like everybody and their mother right now is talking about PRS and like competitive run and gun type rifle shoots. Pretty much no gun owners actually go and shoot PRS matches.
I know.
So it's fun and all, but like, you know, like this is why we cover the type of guns that we do on the channel, or at least my take, because if like you can make a bigger impact that way instead of telling somebody, let's just say, you know, most people who would be considering to buy a PRS type rifle, they either know about and they know what they need and want, or they just got fuck you money and they just want to spend money and because that's what they think they should do, or they think a Loophole Mark V is an entry level scope.
I'm gonna get me a Mark V one of these days. You watch.
It's a nice scope. That's what I have on there now. And I was like, what scope did I put on? But I have a shortage of rings. Wait, did I show you guys the Sierra 6?
You've talked about it, but not on live. Oh crap! Sorry, everybody. It looks like we're gonna go for another 20 minutes.
So, really excited about this one. I wanted to mount this gun on the gun, but I don't have a spare. I would have to take something off in order to mount this. But this is actually, hold on, it's a 30, and it's a 34. Yeah, it's 34, damn it. I had an extra set of 30 millimeter mounts, and I'll throw it on that AR. Well, in any case, so this is the new one. It's the 5-30. Really nice. They made it so much smoother. This one actually works, more internal elevation adjustment. But the image quality on here is superb. Box is still shit. Super shallow. But I had a chance to shoot with this at Comp Expo on a SIG Cross. And like I said, I mean, it was like you range it, it gives you the holdover, pull the trigger. Like I said, just the fit and finish on this versus the Sierra 3 is such night and day difference. So, really looking forward to playing with this one. We'll have it on the gun very soon. Actually, I'll probably put this... Hey, hold on. What do I have in the Ruger American? Oh, I have the Burris RT25. Yeah, I'm going to take that off and put this on here. And we'll see how far we can push it.
Well, I've gotten the Titan out to 1.2 miles. So
That's awesome.
I don't know if it's the furthest shot on record with the company. I haven't heard anything back yet. So it's probably somebody going to try to beat that.
Well, you know, if it was a blackhound, you'd be plastered all over social media right now, saying how how that blackhound is just as good as a $3,000 scope.
Right? I've roughly gotten this one out past 1,600, and that was barely doable.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say, like, the atmospheric conditions are going to play a huge difference with that, whether it's a clear day or you have to look for a lot of crap.
Yeah, it was.
Max, what is the most powerful scope that you have? Oh, that's a great question from your dad.
Here, I'll put it up so people can see it.
That's an awesome question. So it's really interesting. So I guess the answer is it's what do you prefer and what do you need it to do? So the most powerful scope that I've played with is the Golden Eagle, the Vortex Golden Eagle, which is an F-class scope. That scope was built for a particular mission, and that was for F-class shooting. So those guys, the name of F-class, it's whether you're shooting at 600 or 1,000 yards. You know your stated distance. You know exactly what it's going to be, and you just need to watch the wind, make your corrections, and just keep pulling it. So for those goals, you basically want to have the highest magnification that you can. So that's where you have like the Delta Striker 5250. You have a lot of the marked scopes. You have Citron. There's a couple of brands that basically make very high-end magnification scopes. The problem with a lot of those scopes is that they are, as soon as you start cranking up the resolution, unless you're spending a lot of money, it's going to start losing brightness and image quality, and you're generally going to shoot those in certain conditions. The other thing is those scopes are also generally going to be second focal plane. So where the reticle is going to remain the same no matter the magnification. Nikon also had a bunch of Monarch scopes in that, and they were actually quite good. For most of the type of shooting that we do nowadays, my personal preference is for a front focal plane rifle scope, meaning as you crank up or adjust the magnification up or down, your reticle is also going to get bigger or smaller at the same time. The advantage with that is you can have a Christmas tree type reticle, and no matter the magnification that you're on, if, let's say, for example, if you're spotting your own misses, if you pull the trigger and you see it that you're half a mil low and let's say a mil bright, you know exactly what adjustment you need to do. And because the reticle adjusts with the magnification, sorry, I'm looking at the camera again, the reticle adjusts with the magnification, you don't need to think and do the calculation as like, hey, does this work or not? So for more tactical style shooting, or shooting where if you're shooting by yourself and you're not going to have a lot of help, you're going to want a front focal plane rifle scope. The problem with a lot of those front focal plane rifle scopes is the magnification range needs to be fairly contained, because then you start having to make a decision. Do you want, if you want high, like if it's, let's say, for example, 6 to 24 is a pretty decent range, because at that point, your reticle can still remain usable both at wider range and as you zoom in. If you have, let's say, for example, like a 7 to 35, or a great example of that is I have the Crimson Trace Series 5, which is a 3 to 24, an 8x magnification range, 4 to 24. 3 to 24.
Yeah.
I think it was like they had it like it wasn't precisely that, but it was like an 8x erector in there. The problem is because it's such a wide range, that reticle is completely unusable at the wider end. So you have to basically be zoomed in. So companies have to start making a decision. Do you want a reticle that's going to be usable at the lower range, or do you want it? Because otherwise, if it's usable at the lower range, oftentimes it means that as you crank the magnification up, that reticle is too huge to the point that you can't really see it to call your shots, to call your misses. So it really depends on the game. If you want a front focal plane type reticle that's going to have a wide range and it's going to have good image quality at the same time, then you're spending a lot of money, and it quickly escalates beyond that point. Now, and practically, what do you need? I really kind of like the 5 to 25 range, and I've shot 2,300 yards with a stock that scope in particular, the 5 to 25 Leupold Mark V, out to 2,300 yards. So it depends on the size of the targets that you're shooting with and what your goal is. If your goal is just to hit steel plates, you don't need a bunch of magnification. If you need to shoot for small, tiny groups, you're gonna get a higher magnification. And in between, if you're not shooting, so I guess the way to answer this is, if you're buying a scope to fit for a particular gun game, there is going to be probably a scope that's the go-to scope to do that mission. If you want something more all around, then a lot of it is going to be personal preference and the budget. But like I said, I think a good all around right now is, yep. So you brought that up. Like I said, so but that's like I can't even do it because, wait, hold on. I'm not using that. So, and I can unplug this. Hold on. There we go. So that's the Leupold Mark V. And like I said, and the beauty of it is amazing, and a zero stop is phenomenal. And it's still fairly lightweight for the people who do want to hunt with them, and there are a lot of people who do hunt with it. You have the integrated lever stop on here. So I think, like I said, if somebody's budget is like $2,000, I think that's a fantastic scope.
It's probably one of the top scopes in the $2,000 price range, next to the Vortex Razor. But
now,
I would take the Leupold over the Razor because of the weight.
Can you guys see that? Okay, so that I think is going to give it a close second. Crap, hold on. This is to say the caliber. Okay, well, you guys can't see the caliber on there anyway. So that is the Track Toric. And for about $1,600, it's a really nice scope. I like it a lot. Like I said, the turrets aren't as nice as that Leupold. Wait, what the hell? Yeah, I'm sideways. There we go. Wait,
Nope.
Now I'm upside down. Hold on, how do I rotate me?
I don't know. It's just doing more entertaining.
Hold on, I'm gonna change this. Give me 1 second. Shoot. And okay, there we go. I'm back. So we have that. Oh, and actually another one in this price point. Give me 1 second.
Oh, the Athlon. The Kronos. Oh, he's gone. Yeah, the Athlon Kronos would be another one in the $2,000 price range area. Yep, I knew it. Yep, I called that one.
What? Oh,
That's the one. That's the one the wifey wants on the 338.
yeah. So this is the Cronus
One of them.
BTR Gen 2. They sent this to me. I haven't done a video with it yet because I was partly looking for a gun to do it with. But it's gonna be cheaper than the Loophole Mark V for sure.
Now, I do want to say, out of all these scopes, the Loophole's the only 35mm tube one out of all these scopes.
Yes.
But the Loophole also weighs the less out of all these scopes.
Yeah. So I mean, and the weight is really going to be, is weight an issue for you? Because I would even say when shooting for a larger Magnum, you want more weight because it's going to help offset recoil. But if there's a gun game that you're shooting in and you need to stay under a certain weight, that's what you're paying for. Like, I mean, this thing is a beast compared to it, like weight-wise.
Like NRL Hunter.
I just hate the turret feel. I mean, these are stainless steel turret. They just don't feel as pleasant. They're very sharp for tactile and all that stuff. It just doesn't feel as pleasant. And I don't like the reticle on here. Like I said, I mean, if it had a Helix reticle on here,
Well, I guess you just have to send it to me then.
first I have to do a video on it. Like I said, there's only I'm starting to get a strong preference for reticle type choices. Honestly, the one
See, that's
the XTR3, the XTR3. So I'm waiting to get an XTR3.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a really decent scope for the money if they keep it under $1,500.
I think it's.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. It's if you can appreciate or need a $1,500 or $2,000 scope. Honestly, right now, if somebody just get, and you're opposed to Chinesium, because the tract in this are made in Japan and the Loophole is made in the U.S. Although there is a potential that the glass does come with China. So they use source glass from the United States, Japan, and China, and you don't know which they use in which, but they do finish it here. Yeah. But like I said, the Mark V HD with their new reticle is pretty dang nice. Yeah. And also the Loophole does give you the most amount of reticles.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I would say get the Titan if you're not opposed to Chinesium and you want a good front focal plane all around type scope.
The Titan is a great scope for under $1,000.
Get the Titan, or for $500, get the Venom. Or get the Venom in 5 to 25 and get a Helix front focal plane 4 to 26 for under $1,000.
There you go.
Honestly, like I said, that's what I would do. But like I said, but if you wanted one scope, that tract is very good at what it does. And it's going to be an all-around better value than the Loophole. But if you have a strong preference for turret feel, get the Loophole. Yeah, so right now we're kind of in the middle of the $500 front focal plane optic series. But after this, we're going to do a $1,500 one. And I might even have a Maven by that time. Granted, on loan. And also, you're probably looking at the razors, the Vortex razors. And those could be really good for the money. Honestly, though, what I would say is see if you can still find, and this is for everybody, see if you can still find on sale the Crimson Trace Series 3, I'm sorry, Series 5 scopes. So they were Crimson Trace's new scopes. And when Crimson Trace started going into scopes, all of our scopes, they partnered with, is it Japan-led Optics Works, JLO? It's one of the Japanese companies. And all of our scopes are Japanese scopes. They're awesome scopes, and they were about $1,600, but it just wasn't their market point. So they discontinued all of those after about a year. And now they're basically targeting the $550 to $600 price point on the top end, and we're going all with.
They're still $1,800.
Okay, so there's a bunch of places that were clearancing them out for like $800 or so. So take a look. Well, don't look on Crimson Trace website. Look at actually third-party sellers.
No, that was on Midway.
Really? Wow. Okay. So the reason why. Hold on. Okay, so this is the Series 3 Crimson Trace. So you can see it's made in Japan. I had that on that gun first. Like I said, very good optically. The reticles on them suck. The reticles are not great. The Series 3 does not have a zero stop. Turrets are okay. They're not bad. But like I said, image quality wise, it was pretty dang good. And then the higher end one, which we also discontinued, is the Series 5, which uses an 8x erector. So this is a 3 to 24. These have a couple of different reticles. Also Japanese, it's also a little bit shorter.
I also want to note that the Series 3s and the Series 2s didn't have zero stops.
Yep. That I just mentioned that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the reticles need a little bit of work, but optically, I mean, if you can find one of these for under 1,000, absolutely. These are really, really, really good for the money. And it does have a zero stop, and it has a lot more internal elevation adjustment. Yeah. For the first setup, it wasn't bad. The other ones to look at, so Brownells has a couple of decent scopes. Primary Arms also has a higher end series.
Platinum series.
Yeah, I haven't played with those. And honestly, the Sig Tango 6 is also supposed to be a very good scope.
Oh, looks like Chris is back. Hey, Chris, give me a thumbs up if you want to come back on.
Good, he can replace me.
Actually, I was about to close it out, too, after we were done.
And you should. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Hold on.
Wait, what? It's illegal to allow non-citizens to look through rifle optics, especially night vision? We can look for night vision stuff. Okay. I've been waiting 67 months on a 3300. Ryan, is that a ZCO?
Ryan's gotten a few new scopes lately.
All y'all PRS people. $5,000 is an entry-level package of a gun.
Oh my god.
All right.
Hey, Chris, can you hear me?
He just posted yes. Well, not yes, that he wants to pop back on. But on that note, though, I am going to bust out. I'm going to go. Wifey and family came back. Got to reply to a couple of emails, and we'll do that soon.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
How's it going, bud?
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank
So-
you for coming on. We'll do this again soon.
Thank you all.
See you later, man.
How do I get out of here? Oh, there we go.
Oh, welcome back.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
I could hear you fine until you added me, and then it's like it went away.
oh, shoot. Well, I can hear you.
Huh.
Okay, well, I just reset my mic. So, actually, here, I'm gonna close this. Oh, here.
I can't hear nothing. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
So everybody, I'm gonna close this out.
Sounds good.
You guys can see Chris over at Midwest Long Range. I highly recommend you guys go subscribe to his channel. He's got a good channel. He is short, small. Channel like I am. Once again, thanks Slav for coming on, and it was a great live stream, everybody. Thank you everybody who came on and watched tonight. So see you guys on the next one. Keep on squatting. See you guys later.